This is the Bulldog Sports TV.
All right, we'll come in here real quick as we're getting ready for South Harrison Wrestling. I'll be joined here in a moment by South Harrison's own Jeremy Van Meter. He'll be on the call with me here for our wrestling meet tonight. Welcome everyone that is tuned in, and we get ready for a triangular meet. First up will be South Harrison versus Hamilton. Then it'll be Maysville, Hamilton, and South Harrison, Maysville will finish out the night. So that is how we will do it this evening. Excited to have a good crowd getting here this evening so far. And we'll be going live here just a little bit as we welcome you in on the Green Hills pre-meet show here on Bulldog Sports TV. So we'll be coming up again. It'll be South Harrison versus Hamilton. We've got some good matches we've talked about here beforehand. Then Maysville, Hamilton, South Harrison, Maysville finish up tonight. It'll be interesting to watch tonight as these teams all go at it. These are teams that South Harrison's seen a lot. Remember, Hamilton used to be in the GRC. Maysville currently still in the GRC. Programs that are kind of historically good, and we'll get ready for everything going on here in just a little bit. We'll go ahead and step away for a moment, come back for more on the Green Hills pre-meet show after this break.
Green Hills Insurance, LLC of Bethany is a locally owned and operated independent insurance agency providing coverage since 1996. They're licensed to operate in Missouri, Iowa, and Kansas, offering competitive rates with top carriers. They can insure a wide variety of risks, including home, farm, auto, boats, RVs, equipment, business owners, commercial buildings, bonds, and more. Located on the south side of the square in Bethany, stop by or give them a call at 660-425-7900. At Green Hills Insurance, if you need it insured, they've got you covered.
Remember when filling up your car meant more than just pumping gas? At Bethany Fuel Depot, we're bringing that service back. We'll fill your tank, clean your windshield, and send you on your way with a smile, just like the good old days. Inside, you'll find a general store with vintage candy, nostalgic treats, and unique gifts. We're open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., with pumps available 24/7. Find us across from Petty John's, Bethany Fuel Depot, full service and full of charm.
All right, South Harrison High School. We get ready to start this South Harrison Wrestling triangular meet. I'll be joined by Jeremy Van Meter here in just a moment.
Maysville Wolverines, and you're hosting South Harrison Bulldogs.
Yay.
Tonight's order of events will start with South Harrison versus Penny.
South Harrison
We'll
versus
move to
Penny.
Maysville versus
Followed by
Penny, and
Maysville
South Harrison versus Maysville.
Hamilton, then
And
South
after that, we're
Harrison,
going to move into
Maysville
our youth
finish it up.
night, where three
We'll get into
different
wrestling
schools
here
and
in just a
clubs
little
have
bit. We
brought
got our cameras
some
all
youth
set up, the
wrestlers
crowd starting
for
together.
the high school duels. So before we get started, I get everybody to rise. Please rise if you can. Remove cover.
Do the national anthem by South Harrison choir members. We'll step away, be back for more after this.
Sang by South Harrison choir members.
When it comes to keeping your wheels rolling, Advanced Tire has you covered. From passenger and light duty to commercial and agricultural tires, they stock all major brands and sizes. Their team handles mounting, balancing, tire repairs, rotations, and motor vehicle inspections quickly and reliably. And for hard-working local farmers, Advanced Tire offers on-the-farm tire repair service to keep your operation moving. Family owned for 17 years, Advanced Tire is proud to serve the Bethany area with fast, dependable, community-rooted service.
United Country Nelson Real Estate is your trusted place to go when looking to buy or sell. Licensed in 3 states, our team of experienced agents is ready to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Whether it's a home in town, wide open farmland, hunting and recreational property, or that perfect piece of land to call your own. With United Country Nelson Real Estate, you get the best of both worlds. Personal hometown service backed by nationwide exposure. Find us online at nelsonsoldit.com, and remember, no one knows the country like we do.
At Petty John Auto Center, we put customers first, making car buying easy and stress-free with honest pricing and no hidden fees. Choose from 9 trusted brands of new cars: Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, plus more than 250 quality pre-owned vehicles. Our service department is here to keep you on the road with confidence. Visit any of our 3 locations in Bethany, Albany, and Trenton, or browse our inventory anytime at pettyjohnauto.com.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them.
Hey, Ben.
Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most. To find your local agent, visit shelterinsurance.com.
See Agent Shane Jones in Bethany for all of your insurance needs.
All right, CF Rainey back here with Jeremy Van Meter. We've had to adjust some of our microphone stuff, but Jeremy, getting ready here, girls up first, and we've got some open here to begin with.
Yeah, I think there's only one match that matches up here between Penny and South Harrison. Starting here with Serena Lurton at 100 pounds. She's going to get the open. I think there's only, like I said, a possibility maybe two if they bump a girl, but probably just one match here against Penny. So at 100, no 100 for Penny. So it's going to be 6-0 team points for South Harrison. And we'll go to 105. We have Addie Polly for South Harrison. She'll be open also. So we're going to start right off with the team score 12-0 South Harrison. So 12-0 team points for South Harrison. Then there's no 110, no 115. And then Penny's got a 120-pounder of Haley Lewis. Saw her wrestle at the Plattsburgh tournament. She's a solid wrestler from Penny. It doesn't look like she's going to have a match tonight, though, so she'll have an easy night. But then Penny does have a 125-pounder. And so does South Harrison. Hayden Humphrey, a 125-pound senior, against 125-pound Hannah Daly from Penny. So this will be our first match of the night between Hayden Humphrey of South Harrison against Hannah Daly from Penny at 125 pounds. Yep. Hayden is also a cheerleader. She's at every basketball game cheerleading, so it's good to see the girls basketball team here to cheer on Hayden in a wrestling match. So Daly goes for a shot right off the bat. Hayden tries to block. She gets the takedown. Gonna let him. So back to neutral. We got 3-1 Daly. 3-1 Daly because she let Humphrey up. We had the official time on track wrestling here with a minute 36 left in the first period. 3-1 Daly. So Humphrey's gonna look to set something up, maybe try and get ahead with the takedown here. Daly shoots for the same shot, and we got a potential dangerous there. That was gonna probably not be pretty on the neck. So umpire Jay Drake, been doing this for 39 years, he told me. He used to officiate me, if that tells you how long he's been doing it. He stopped that pretty quickly. Hayden's gonna make sure, Hayden's got the leg, and then falls to her belly. She's gotta get back to her base to pull that in. Daly's gonna try and cross-face her away. Hayden's gotta keep turning. And Daly will get the takedown. So now it's 6-1 Daly over Humphrey. Both Penny and Maysville is in our district, South Harrison's district this year. So a lot of these are going to be district matchups when it comes seeding time. Now the good news is in wrestling, when you get to districts, your record is 0-0, but it does matter when it comes to seeding. So a lot of these matches can make a difference there. Daly's got a half in, and Humphrey gets to her base and blocks that off, so she lets her back to her feet. Now it's 6-2 Daly over Humphrey. Daly with a little bit of a maul move there, goes straight to the butcher. Is up 9-2 now. Looks for a butcher, and Humphrey posts that out to where she's not going to let her turn her. Daly hasn't given it up yet. Finally gives up the butcher. Is going to let her up. Oh, well, Humphrey's tired of that. So 9-2 Daly, and Humphrey's tired of getting let up. So she's going to take matters in her own hands. Looks for a reversal here. She's got to turn the corner, and that's a reversal for Humphrey. So now we're looking at 9-4, and Humphrey's going to look to try and get some wrist control and get a turn here to get some back points. So they're not going to get it before the end of the first period. 9-4 Daly. So Humphrey's starting to show life there at the end of the first period. So Red's choice is, so Penny coach says we want to go neutral, which means they both start from their feet. And immediately Daly goes straight for the high crotch again. Humphrey tries to block her off. She's got it blocked for a little bit, but she's got to get off her hip. Daly now gets both legs. That's going to be tough to block. So that is a takedown there. It's going to make it 12-4 Daly. Now has the power half in, is going to look to crank it. Humphrey posts it away and blocks it off, and she reaches back. Not textbook. We don't normally want to do that, but sometimes you can catch somebody off. Often you can do a little bit of a toss over. Not something you normally want to do, reaching back in wrestling. That turns into something not successful. But if you can catch somebody by surprise, got the forearm. You know, we talked last time about different coaching styles. Coach next door for Penny is one of those loud coaches we talked about. He used to fight MMA before he became a pastor.
There you
go.
go.
So now he, there was a full Nelson. She had a half Nelson, actually slipped the other arm in. That's going to be 1 penalty point for Humphrey. Makes it 12-5 Daly. So Humphrey will go back to the middle, start from the referee's position. You know, looking straight across the camera here, you can see both the Hunter girls as starting basketball players had 9 fouls between the two of them last night at CF. Now they're watching wrestling. I think it's too late to convert them. And I think Coach Watson would be pretty upset. But if you watch, they seem a little intrigued with the whole idea of wrestling.
Well, it's one of those interesting things we've talked about. Girls wrestling has really grown. Not full teams like you see on the boys' side, but really starting to grow here in the state of Missouri.
You do see that, though. I've seen some schools that has a bigger girls team than boys, and it's really taken off. You know, 3 or 4 years ago, an athletic girl with a little bit of strength could rule the world. Now you're starting to see girls that's been wrestling since they were 5 in youth. You know, like Jaden Keller from Brookfield's looking to get her 4th state championship. So that tells you it's been around long enough now that it's really starting to grab hold and be one of those sports that is going to take off just like boys. So Humphrey's going to fight off. She got a little bit of Peterson hooked up. That's why she reached back there, but it's going to run out of time. So she's down 12-5, and she's going to choose down what you have to do when you're down, because you can score points from the bottom easier than you can from your feet or on top, because now she can get an escape, reversal, anything. Haley's going to put the optional start. So this is a strategy where you can do the optional start. Sometimes you let them up. Yeah, she didn't have it on the center of the back. That's the caution there. So they do that optional start so they can either let them up or they can drive right in the side of you, almost like a bulldog move. But
yeah, we haven't seen this from the first meet, this start.
Yeah, see, she just kind of would let her up, and she didn't quite let her go, so she didn't get the escape because, again, Humphrey is tired of just getting let up. Sometimes that can be Hayden's downfall, or her best attribute is how mad she is, you know. We're going to blame that on her mom, not Gary. But she needs to pull that leg in, get the knee to her chest, and stay off her belly. Haley's got her hip blocked off and now broke that ankle down. If Hayden can pull that into her chest and drive in, oh, Haley with the front cradle, the front headlock cradle. I didn't see her hooking that up from the other side. Now she's getting back points. It's going to make it at least 16-5. Humphrey needs to fight off her back here. Try not to get pinned.
Just a minute left here.
Yeah, she can. That's a long time to fight off your back, though. It really is.
Yeah, especially with that leg up.
The good news, though, yeah, the inside shoulder was blocked. There was no way she was going to get the pin there, because there's no way she'd get that inside shoulder down. So Hayden needs to get her head up off the mat and get them moving. And there's another full Nelson. See, now that's 2 penalty. That's worth 1 more point. So if she does that again, it's worth 2, and a 4th time you're disqualified. So that's a lot of stuff you see still in the girls' matches as they do those. Well, I should see in the guys' matches, really, but I'm going to be honest with you. But so she's already, Haley's like, I wanted to let you up, and you would let me, so now I'm going to let you up. It's 16-7. Got a good high crotch. If Humphrey can cross-face her away, she's trying. Cross-face her away and hip away. But now it's another takedown there, so it's going to be 7-19. Got 1 half in. Humphrey's going to block that off. She's going to let her up again. So now you're looking at 19-8. 19-8. So you have a major decision right now if it was to end with 26 seconds left. So you're looking at 22-8 with 15 seconds left, short time. Humphrey needs to fight that pinning combination off. Man, she's got shoulders that bend funny. It's hard to watch sometimes. She's gonna make it all 3 periods here. Gonna go all 3 periods here. 22-8 is your final daily over Humphrey. Gonna make the team score 10-12 South Harrison. 10-12 South Harrison. And it looks like Amber Criley for South Harrison, 130 pounds, will come.
135. Or you're 135.
Amber Criley's going to bounce up to 135 pounds and go out and get the open for 16 points.
Well, and we talked about this. She's kind of dealing with a little injury situation, but as long as you can go out in an open, you get those team points.
As long as you can go out in your own power. Go out in your own power and get your hand raised, you get the win. It counts as a win. She's dealing with a little hip flexor. I think it happened in cheerleading last night. That's the one nuance you run into with girls wrestling too, is they're putting their body through some other stuff that the guys don't. So we jump up to 145 pounds for Penny as Cadence Burke. She's going to go out and get the open. South Harrison doesn't have anybody till 190. So we're going to see Penny can move up their 170-pounder to wrestle our Emily Burnett at 190. We'll see if they do that. 155 is Cadence Railsback. She's going to go out and get her open. So it's going to make the team score 18-22 Penny. And looking around, it doesn't look like Penny has another girl, so then Emily Burnett's going to go out for her open at 190, so it's going to end up a team score of 24-22 South Harrison. Will get the win. So that'll end the girls' duel with South Harrison winning 24-22. So we had one match there. Now the captains will come out for the boys, and we'll get ready to start the boys' duel here shortly. So, CF, we just had the Albany tournament, and Penny was there. And just kind of looking at the rosters here, Penny's 215-pound Hunter Nixdorf is the younger brother of Fisher Nixdorf. Wrestled Craig Coffey in the semis over there in the Albany tournament. Craig got the victory, but Hunter's just coming off a broken leg from football. So really, he's not in full go yet. We'll see if tonight's any different than Saturday. That could be probably, not there won't be some other good matches in there, but that's probably the match to watch, the last match of this duel. So Penny has 9 kids on the roster, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. South Harrison has 12. So it really comes down to who matches up, because Penny's got a 106 and we don't. So they're getting some opens.
So 120 is our first match.
120 is going to be our first match. 120 is going to be our first match. Cash Brett's from Penny at 120, and Cruz Stewart from South Harrison at 120. So this is one of those situations where I've watched this kid from Penny wrestle since he was 5.
Yeah.
So I've watched, believe it or not, he used to be a little short round kid, and now he is tall and lean, wrestling 120. Cruz Stewart has never been short round. He's always been thin, but they're both wrestling at 120 right now. Again, I watched Cash wrestle at the Albany tournament this weekend. He did solid, but Cruz Stewart made it to the finals. So we'll see how this works out tonight at South Harrison. Cash looks for a shot, and a good reshot by Cruz, going to keep him in bounds, hopefully, get the takedown for Cruz Stewart. So you saw Cash make a good shot, blocked by Cruz, and the minute he backs up, Cruz reshoots right there and gets the takedown, 3-0. Stewart looking for the chicken wing. Going to have to think about where he's at on the mat, though, because there he is. He's going to bring him back in. Can't roll him out of bounds, doesn't do any good, so he's going to have to get him back in bounds and break him back down, and they go out of bounds anyway. So you're 3-0 with 1:29 left in the first. Cash Brett's down, Cruz Stewart leading the way. Brett's trying to get away from Cruz. Cruz is not having it. Going to break him down, and it looks like he's trying to get an elbow there. Get an arm for a chicken wing. He's got a good deep waist hit on him, so he can't get away. So now he goes straight crossface, going to go to the butcher. Going to go straight crossface into the butcher, but he's got to think about where he's at on the mat again. You can't roll him out of bounds. It doesn't really going to gain you anything. But you got to be careful not let him up like he just did. Well, but they're out of bounds anyway. So he did not lose control. So Cruz is still in control here. Best come back to the middle.
And so this is one of those, you see the Hamilton wrestler, right as soon as they get the whistle, he's crawling trying to get out of that.
He's trying to get separation.
He's set down.
There's a couple different ways there. You want to either get separation and try and turn, or you could lean back in and turn. It depends on what kind of move you're trying to set up. But Cruz is wanting to keep hip pressure, keep him broke down, get that chicken wing in there. That's usually what Cruz tries to run, is some sort of a arm bar chicken wing. Going to go potential there because I'm not really sure why. Coach Nixdorf doing his normal suggestive umpiring. Even the Maysville coaches over here laughing. Betts get straight up. See, that's another tactic. Go straight up and get to your feet, so then you can try and do some sort of standing switch, but Stewart puts him back on the mat. Because you have 5 seconds to put him back on the mat or you get a stalling. So that's definitely a strategy. Stewart leading still 3-0, trying to get a breakdown to get some sort of a pinning combination tied up. And Brett's is blocking that off pretty solidly. This Brett's kid is young. He's a sophomore. Solid wrestler. Like I said, I've watched him wrestle quite a bit. But Cruz put it on him over at Albany and looks like he's in control here. Well, he's got to stay in control, though. Was getting ready to take him back to his back, but went out of bounds. But Stewart's probably okay with it because his headgear was down over his eyes. You know, If you watch Bloodsport or Karate Kid and they do this stuff in their blindfold, I've wrestled with your eyes closed. It doesn't work. You really need to see what you're doing. Yeah. Caution, nobody was set. Solid. Caution on red. He tried to move before the whistle. You got to stay set till the whistle blows. So Brett's getting a little antsy trying to move like we talked about. So he got separation there, and Stewart puts him back on the mat. That'll be the end of the first period with Stewart leading 3-0. It is Red's choice first, and Penny says we want to go neutral. If you remember right, at the beginning of the first period, the minute the whistle blew, Brett's tried to go for a shot. So I suspect that's he faked it that time. So he's going to try and set something up this time. And Stewart says go ahead and go down there so that I can block it and try and he's let him in awful deep though. Now he's got separation. But Cruz has still got the legs, so there's no control yet. We're going straight to the Peterson cradle. It was set up backwards, so now Stewart's in trouble. He's got to break that cradle and get off his back in a hurry. So there's no way. All right, so Brett's got the takedown of 3 and 4 back points. So now it's 7-3 Brett's. So Stewart's got to get an escape, got to get a reversal, get something to get back in control of this match. He's down by 4 just in one fell swoop. He's got the Peterson. He's trying to hook it up backwards, I'm afraid. So he's got to his feet. Now there's the reversal. Cruz got the reversal, so now he's still down 7-4, so he's got to get him turned. He needs to get some back points this period and get this match back in hand or a pin. A pin secures everything. He's got a good crossface in, making sure Brett's is feeling the pain there. Now he's worked back to his base, so Cruz is going to try and break him down. See, Cruz Stewart's known for being able to roll and roll through and roll through and roll through some more, but this Brett's kid's not afraid to get aggressive. So Stewart's going to need, he's got 34 seconds in the second period. He's going to need to, he's got the chicken wing set up. He's going to have to get a turn here to get some back points to get this, see, to roll, and the kid rolled right through, but there's Stewart already ready for the roll through because that's his thing. And the kid goes straight to his back. Stewart lands, scrambles well, and gets the pin.
Yeah,
things happen quickly in wrestling.
Well, and especially you get these.
So Stewart with the win.
These lower weight classes, just the
speed of everything.
Yeah,
speed of everything. So Stewart gets the first team points for South Harrison tonight at 6 with the pin. And you've got Tallis Marshall at 126. Ooh, I wondered, he started throwing his headgear around, stomping around. He got an unsportsmanlike there. So that's -1 team point. Wrestling is one of those things you can't stomp around. 32. Just wait, fellas. All right, so 126 Tallis Marshall will get the win at the Open, so it's 12-0 South Harrison, and we're going to bounce to looks like 132. You got James Harvey of Penny going to take on Brendan Hoover of South Harrison. Both of them really excited to get on the mat. We had to get the computer right. Team score is 12-0 South Harrison. Brendan Hoover is looking at his rankings have been climbing recently pretty fast. He's I think 12th in the state right now. Goes straight to the last double and gets the takedown 3-0 Brendan Hoover. Goes straight to the cradle, Harvey straight to his back. Looks like I don't know that he'll get the pin because that inside shoulder is pretty far off the mat. But Hoover may be able to work the body separation there. See the knee in the side there, trying to stop the movement to try and get that inside shoulder down to the mat. So right now he's holding a 4 count on the back points. So if he has to let this go and not get the pin, it'll be 7-0. But Hoover says, I don't want to do that. I want to get the pin with 1:23 left in the first period. And he's got, I got to let go of that pinning combination. So it's going to be 7-0 Hoover. He's got a front headlock. And Harvey's looking to try and get to his feet, and Hoover's looking to try and stay in control. So Harvey gets the escape, so it's 7-1 Hoover. Hoover probably will set up another kind of, well, I don't know, they're in a tie. He may try and, do a slide by. There it was. It was a good little duck under slide by. Got a takedown again, so it's going to be 10-1 Hoover.
So that's one of those, Jeremy. Brendan had him down.
But he knew he couldn't get that inside shoulder.
So you better just letting that go and trying to reset?
Yeah. He kept trying to work that shoulder down and wasn't going to be able to get it, so he let it go. Now he's going to work something else. So he's winning 10-1. He's got a tilt here. We talked about that last time. You can roll a kid to a back and get some cheap back points, but it's really difficult to pin him there. And now he's working on a cross-face cradle. The kid blocked it beautifully. Blocked his hands from the locking. Now Hoover held on to that deep waist, and now he's going to try and break down and there's the half. Now, if he can grind that over, the kid tried to roll through, but put himself in trouble. So now, if you try and do a half Nelson from the base like that, the kid can roll through like that. You really need to break him down first. And the kid's to his feet, so he's got 5 seconds to try and mat return him, or there he just lets him go. So that's 10-2. So when the kid gets to the feet right there, you have to mat return within 5 seconds so you can get a stall call. It's not an official exact 5 seconds, it's however the official counts it in their head. But you can get a stall call for not mat returning quick enough. And Hoover just said, you know what, I'll just take him down. Didn't quite get it before the end of the period. So the end of the first period is 10-2, Brendan Hoover. And it's going to be Red's choice first. He chooses down. Again, it's easier to score points from the bottom. He's already shown that he can escape. So Coach Nixdorf thinks he can get another escape and maybe set something up. Hoover is going to try and work a pinning combination. Already has the half already in, broke down into his back. See if you can get that turn quick. It's trouble. The half Nelson is the most basic wrestling move in the history of wrestling. And it's I thought he had him. He lost the arm there.
Around,
and the kid's trying to roll through. Got a Peterson hooked up. So we got 4 for, it's 14-2, but then he got a 2 reversal, and now Hoover's getting back points on him. So it's now 14 Hoover's going to have to post that out and try and get that half Nelson off of him. He got it peeled off, so you got 2 back points, so that makes it 14-6 Hoover, but Hoover is struggling a little bit right now. Harvey's got a little bit of command. Hoover needs to get to his base before he's able to lock something up. He's got a decent arm bar started there. Hoover's got to base up and be able to move before he does something with that arm bar. He's got it back. He's got to keep it legal. He can't go up the shoulder blade with it. But he's got a good arm bar hooked up, but he's running it. No, that's how you normally run it. So Hoover's going to have to try and post that out. Oh, he lost it. Should have been good. Hoover worked it out. So now we're back to the referee's position at the edge of the mat. With 30 seconds left in the second. Oh, you got to watch his shoulder there. He can roll that shoulder over now, but he's going to be out of bounds.
He's trying to keep that back toe in.
Yeah, you see him trying to drag the back toe, now dragging Hoover back to the mat, which usually means Hoover can get to his base and maybe possibly do something different besides letting him. There's 9 seconds left in the period. All right, so the end of the second period is going to be 14-6 Hoover. So red chose down, so it's going to be Hoover's choice. We're going to go neutral, of course. He's taking him down multiple times. So he's got to stay out of trouble, stay out of the rolls, get a good takedown, and try and get the, if he gets a pinning combination, finish it. So up by 8 points, so it's a major decision if it was in now, but he's looking to extend that hopefully and not just ride it out for the win. Working inside control. Hoover gets separation. That's usually to try and set up some sort of window to be able to shoot through. Hoover goes ahead and tries a single leg and is going to try and turn it into a throw, but they go out of bounds. So 1:33 left in the match. Harvey giving up a good fight. There was a good setup. See how he got separation and shot under the hands. But Harvey blocked it just enough that, yeah. Say takedown for Penny. Oh, we got some blood from somewhere. Oh, his knee's bleeding. Yeah,
Start blood time on green.
So just got a little bit of a nick on his knee, but it smears on the mat. And, of course, we don't want to do any kind of blood contamination, so they're going to get that covered up and get.
How much different is that from your day?
Well,
as far
I mean,
as looking at blood.
Yeah, we didn't let blood just flow all over the place, but at the same time, a lot of things have changed since the 90s, and we really kind of pay attention to where blood is, and it stops really quickly. They stop a match like almost immediately if the blood's flowing. That was just a little. In fact, the official didn't even notice it until. Yes. So, yeah, it's a little different, but not like we were concerned in the 80s too, but now I'm sure in the 70s they let blood go everywhere. What's funny is I played football with blood all over the place. Now they stop blood football. And technologies came along. Back in my day, if you got a bloody nose, the coach would pull something out of the bag that resembled something you would see in the HBA aisle at Walmart and shove it up your nose, and that's how they stop the bleeding. Now they actually have true blood stopping, nosebleed stopping. So you see them taping up Hoover's knee here to make sure it doesn't come back open and smear more blood.
So this is one of this pause, is that beneficial to either side here?
It's really Harvey beneficial because he was starting to get a little winded and Hoover wasn't, and now they both have clean lungs. Hoover kind of shoots from too far away and Harvey blocks it there. So it's 15-9 Hoover. So really, minute left. Hoover needs to probably try and set up a takedown, but really make sure he doesn't give up a takedown. Because a 7-point move and you lose here. So a takedown and back points, and you could lose a match here. So he's got to play defense but not stall. Play defense but not stall. Yeah, and he got called for a stall. So he's got one stall here. 15-9 Hoover trying to keep Harvey from getting the takedown. Oh, and he almost had a takedown, but they're out of bounds. Kid set him up beautifully for a barrel roll. When Hoover tried to spin, he was going to barrel roll him right to his back. That would have been trouble. Thank goodness they went out of bounds.
Are there times when you're maybe trying to
start blood time again? He must have rolled the tape off.
Are there times like this where you're up 37 seconds, you maybe played a little too safe and you can give up some points?
No. Well, like I said, you got to play it safe but not stall. Play it safe and not stall. That's why there's rules where you can't do like in football and just kneel and let the clock run out. In wrestling,
just keep running around.
You can't do that. You got to keep wrestling. The best thing to do here is set up a good shot and get a takedown. That's your best defense right now, is be aggressive offensively. Or just make sure you stay in a safe place to where he can't get a clean shot on you. And Hoover has a beautiful shot that he showed us in the first period. He's going to throw the hip toss here. And he hasn't got it. So that is the move. When you're down 6, that could be the 7-point move we talked about. So we're up down to 15 seconds. The kid's going to go. All right, so we're down 11.7 seconds left. The kid's going to go for some sort of 7-point move, which is a throw, some sort of takedown with back points. And he's got to do it quick. And Hoover's going to try and block it off. He's got the whizzer in, he's got the leg in. He's just going to sit there and ride this out for 2 seconds and stay out of trouble. All right, so Hoover gets the win. It will be a just a decision, not a major decision. So with 14 points, Hoover with the win. So it'll be 10-0 South Harrison. Team points wise. So Hoover gets the win. And we go to 138.
What are you going at?
38. All right, so we got Jacob Metter going to 138 for the Open, getting the win. Jacob Metter gets the win at 138. So varsity Van Meter is going to, is he going to bump to 44? Probably not. I would assume. 144?
44? No 44?
No, we have no 44. So it looks like Hayden Gonzalez from Penny will get the Open. We'll make the team score 15-6. And then we'll go to 150. South Harrison will have Ian Mode taking on Cooper Matthews. Ian Mode from South Harrison 150 taking on Cooper Matthews of Penny. Cooper Matthews at the Albany tournament this weekend had a solid outing, but I don't know if these two wrestled there. He's going to get a quick takedown, 3-0 Matthews. Mode goes straight to his feet, but then gets Matt returned. And he's going to let him go. So it's 3-1 Matthews. It's another takedown, 6-1, 6-2 now with the escape. I mean, the takedown let up is one thing, but if you're just going to do the same move over and over, it's kind of ridiculous. 9-3 now. I mean, run something else. You've already done this 3 times. Okay, you've shown that you're some sort of Billy. Let's go ahead and run a different move now. Maybe you edit that part, Sam.
Well, we are live, Jeremy.
I know. It's just, it irritates me even as a coach. If you're going to do that, that's great, but run something different every time. So now he's at least trying to run something different. Mode is going to try and block it off. Going to be 12-3 Matthews. He's going to go to the tilt. Mode's going to stay off if he's back here for, he's going to have 52 seconds to try and get to his feet. Thanks for reminding me we're live, CF. All right, so Mode to his feet. Matthews is probably just, I mean, we're getting, there's the mat return. And Mode will, he's got to his feet. Now he's got a front headlock. Matthews is just trying to stay out of trouble here. Mode is trying to work something to get a reversal. If he can head in the hole here, oh no, he lost the throw, so he'll get the escape. So it's going to be 12-4 Matthews. Another takedown for Matthews going to be. So it's going to be 15-4 at the end of the first.
So in the one where Mode got out of it, if he could have worked his way behind, that would have been the reversal?
It would have been a reversal for 2, but instead he got an escape for 1, which as a coach you tell a kid, you know, if you're going to, you want 1, not 2. You'd rather him just give up the escape than a reversal. So that's what Matthews did there. Mode was out of control to the point where he's just like, you know what, I'll just let you up and we'll start from our feet. Because a reversal usually puts you in a very vulnerable situation really quick.
I got it.
So 15-4 Matthews in the second.
They've kind of slowed down here a little bit in this match.
Well, and I think it's because Mode's stopping all the stuff that Matthews was doing. See, that's back to what you're talking about. If you're just going to run the same move over and over, you're gaining nothing. Now Mode's figured out how to stop that, and there he goes to something different, and finally gets it to work. Mode had blocked off everything for quite a while, so now you're looking at 18-4 Matthews. I say we talked about it, but it was just me, CF. I'll take the blame. So 18-4 Matthews. Mode looking to try and get to his feet. Matthews trying to get some sort of wrist control, back points. Really, it looks to me like he's just riding the hip, hanging on. He got a major decision now. Now he's got some wrist control, looking to maybe There's 35 seconds left in the second. Let the escape go. Man, the coffees are good. They got the clocks in sync without anybody even noticing. So down to 20 seconds left in the second. Going to be, there's your tech fall with the last takedown. So tech fall for Matthews, that's worth 5 team points. It'll make the team score 15-11 South Harrison. All right, so at 157, you got Mason Galloway from South Harrison taking on Carson Bretz, which is the younger Cass Bretz's older brother. Watched him wrestle at the same time. He's a couple years older. Obviously bigger than his brother. So you got Carson Bretz taking on Mason Galloway with the Batman mask on. Still hasn't fixed the broken nose because he didn't want to miss any time. Bretz goes for a single, and Galloway gets the cow catcher, goes straight into, there he gets his takedown. I thought maybe he'd go for the cradle, but he went ahead and just got the takedown, 3-0 Galloway. So Galloway looking to get some sort of wrist control here to got a good cross-face breakdown going into the butcher, getting back points here. Galloway looking for the pin. So he got the count. He went back to get it tighter, so they had to recount. So he's got the 4 back points, and if he could probably get the pin if he tries to remaneuver. He's got that inside shoulder really close. He needs to arch his back, and he's going to try and regroup and get a little tighter. There you go.
Get on the other
There's
side
where
of
it's
it.
tight. That's where it's hard to breathe when you're on bottom. You can't hardly fight it off because you can't breathe. And there's a pin for Galloway. Make team points 21-10 South Harrison. Galloway with the pin.
So Galloway's a kid,
Strong, athletic.
strong football player. Played basketball a year ago and then came back to wrestling.
Yeah, he's a kid
this
that I
year.
wish we could have had all through youth because he's got the strength and the ability that could have really. And he's a good wrestler now, great wrestler. But if he's had a few more years under him, he could have been, Craig Coffey level type stuff. All right, so Tate Aikens at 165. Penny is open at 165, so Tate Aikens will get the win. Going to make team points 27-10. Move to 175. We got Damone Newman from Penny and Ethan Smith from South Harrison at 175. So Green is ranked number 3 in the state. Ethan Smith from South Harrison ranked 3rd in the state. He'll have a real good match later against Maysville that he wrestled twice at Albany. Ethan looking to get an easy, quick win here. Gets a takedown against Newman. Newman, a fairly new wrestler, is a sophomore. Green looking to just work some moves and get through this one and get ready for Kennedy from Maysville. Got a good cross face there. I have to correct myself. There's a crossface cradle that we learned from Austin Ward, not Craig Coffey. The crossface cradle, far side cradle, Austin Ward made. Pretty popular here at South Harrison as a coach and was as a wrestler himself. Multiple state champion. He's on the coaching staff. Green gets some back points there. He's now leading 7-1. So 7-1 Smith over Newman. I got a little grief over that last time because I didn't give him the credit I should have. And it wasn't from him. All right, Green looking to try and get another takedown here. Newman fighting off a few decent shots. There Ethan gets in deep on both legs. Is getting the takedown at the edge of the mat here. It's going to be 10-1 Smith over Newman. You know, as they go out of bounds there and you look right up above them, you see the girls basketball team, a lot of the boys basketball players, the coaches, a lot of the community. That's just good for a home duel to see all the cheerleaders are over there. You see a lot of the home community here. You know, we have a youth matchup after this. Oh, potential there, yeah. So once you have that arm trap there, like Newman got to his feet, he has an arm trap, and you can mat return with no arm to brace yourself, that's bad. That's when you bang heads off mat. So that's why Drake stopped it before anything could have happened. So now he needs to do a mat return, and you can't clasp. Once you go down to the mat like that, you have to let go of your hands together. Clasp hands around the waist, you have to have a limb in there. So it's kind of a touchy way to be able to mat return. There's a chicken wing back and a chin drop. He got him to his back, and Newman's trying to fight off anything right now, but he's kind of tight. And then now he really hooks head, so now it's going to get really tight really fast. If Green would arch his back and look to the ceiling, he may be able to shove that both shoulders down. There's the pin. So Ethan Smith with the pin in the second period, going to make the team score 33-10. So we're moving to 190. So Caspian Jinx from South Harrison will be taking on Braden. I talked to this kid at Albany. He was mat side, and I talked to him. But for the life of me, we're going to draw hop. So Seabass from South Harrison. Braden from Penny gets it. Penny gets a good deep shot there. Seabass fights it off, and now they're still on their feet looking for wrist control, inside wrist control. Good outside sweep, and Seabass can't do anything about it. So now he goes straight to the Butcher. He's going to try and roll him to his back. Got a minute 30 for Jinx to fight off his back. That's a pretty tight Butcher. That's a pin for Penny. Going to make the team score 33-16. And now we're to the, really, if you ask me, the match of the duel. The match of the duel here, you got number 4 in the state against number 1 in the state. Craig Coffey from South Harrison, ranked number 1 in the state. Hunter Nixdorf from Penny, ranked 4th in the state. They wrestled Saturday. Craig got the better then, but Nixdorf is known for his strength, and he likes to throw, likes to do that. I mean, just like his brother, he likes to try and bully around and throw, and Coffey's not going to let that happen. He's going to fight everything off, stay out of the tie, try and get to an outside sweep. Cray has longer arms and most people have legs, so if you give him a chance, he's going to outside sweep you or get some sort of a takedown. And Nixdorf's just trying to keep either him tied up or a separation where he can't reach anything. And there's he's trying to get a slide by, and then Cray says, well, I'll do it to you then. And here we're still neutral. Coach Nixdorf felt like something should have been finished there. Cray was not going to allow it. So now they're fighting there. Man, that's a good block by Nixdorf. Nixdorf's trying the slide by, and Cray tried to turn into a blast double, and Nixdorf blocked it off pretty good. Now Nixdorf's trying to stay close. You ever heard the phrase, somebody can't punch you if you're right up next to him? That's what Nixdorf's doing now. Cray can't do a takedown if he's in close like that. His reach is no good anymore. There, Cray gets the reach, gets to the leg. He needs to remember where he's at on the mat, and I just can't pull it in. Nixdorf is strong. He's very strong, especially lower body strength. So Cray looking to work something and get back to the center of the mat, like he's going to reset a little bit. Nixdorf's trying to keep a little head control there, maybe a mind game. Cray's just trying to get any kind of an opening that he's going to give him. There's trying to get that Russian slide by there, and Cray's blocking it off. It's tough to slide by somebody that has arms that are 9 feet long. You just can't get everything by. So we talked about last time, not all 215-pounders are built similar. These guys are built different, and they kind of wrestle different. Nixdorf's known for throwing and arm ties and slide bys, and Cray's more of a technical, double leg outside sweep, and can block a lot of things. So far it's 0-0 at the end of the first. So good match so far for Nixdorf, and Cray's. I'd say they've watched some film on Cray if you want to, because everything he normally runs, they've done a pretty good job of blocking. So Red chooses neutral. Nixdorf feels better from his feet than on the mat. So 0-0 at the end of the first period. So, yeah, Cray tries to use his strength against him. Great move there. He used his own strength against him, gets the takedown. So he's got an ankle. Nixdorf's trying to get to his feet. Cray's wanting to make sure and keep him on the mat. And believe it or not, Cray is going for a crossface, either cradle or butcher. There's that far side crossface cradle we talked about that Austin Ward taught to Cray when he was probably 6. But Nixdorf's going to be out of bounds. He got away from the crossface cradle. Going to be 3-0 Coffee. This is a good match for both these guys before districts. Sometimes if you don't have a good hard match to keep your motor, you can go into districts kind of a little lethargic. This is a good pre-district match. It's going to come down to district seeding probably. They'll probably be 1 and 2, maybe 1 and 3 in district seeding, so they'll see each other at districts. But still, it's a good match to have. And Nixdorf is going to get the escape there, so it's 3-1 Coffee. Boy, you can tell Nixdorf has watched film. They have done a great job. Oh my! Oh, the over-under almost landed. Almost landed, but Cray with his strength and length stopped it and gets the pin. Wow! So here's the thing: that over-under throw could have been devastating for Coffee, but his height and strength, he was able to fight it off and put Nixdorf on his back. That's one of those moves that Nixdorf is going to watch and be like, man, we were this close. And Cray's like, man, he was this close. So a pin for Coffee is going to be 36-16 South Harrison. Penny is open at heavyweight. So Ruger, which is 4th in the state at heavyweight, will get the win with your final team score of 42-16. See, I told you that was going to be the match of the duel.
No, and it was huge because 0-0 at the end of one, right? They're just kind of filling each other out. And again, two guys with a lot of skill and talent and understanding of how to wrestle.
Sheer strength. Those kids are two of the stronger kids you're going to see.
And you mentioned it almost flipped.
Oh, it did. It almost could have been catastrophic for Coffee there. That underthrow that Nixdorf tried to throw there was a beauty, and Coffee just had enough strength and enough length to block it away.
Like you mentioned, that length really, he kind of made a lever, was able to flip it back with that length and go back over.
That's the downside of an over-underthrow or a hip toss. If you miss it, you're in trouble. Like if you don't land it, you're in trouble. So I think we're probably going to have to go to a little bit of pay the bills time, and I'll turn it over to CF, and you guys can quit listening to me.
All right, we'll be back here. It'll be Penny and Maysville when we come up, and then we'll finish tonight with Maysville South Harrison. We'll be back after this commercial break.
At GRM Networks, connection means more than just phone and internet. It means community. As a member-owned cooperative, GRM Networks delivers reliable, advanced communications technology while putting customers first. From fast, dependable internet to quality phone services, you can count on a network built for you. And because GRM is locally invested, every connection helps strengthen the communities we call home. GRM Networks, connecting people, supporting communities, and delivering service you can trust.
For 125 years, Farmers Bank of Northern Missouri has proudly served as your locally owned community bank. From convenient online banking and our easy-to-use mobile app, we're here to meet all of your financial needs. With 10 locations across northern Missouri and southern Iowa, you'll always find trusted service close to home. Farmers Bank of Northern Missouri, locally owned, locally trusted, banking Bethany can count on. Learn more at onlinefarmersbank.com, member FDIC.
Make every room your favorite room with O'Neill's Home Furnishings in Bethany. From lazy boy recliners and stylish sectionals to bedroom sets and dining tables built to last, we bring comfort and style together. Plus, enjoy free delivery, setup, and takeaway within 60 miles. Financing is available, subject to credit approval. Visit o'neillshomefurnishings.com or call 660-425-7200. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. O'Neill's, where great style meets everyday living.
Craving authentic Mexican flavor? Come to El Nopal, where every bite tastes like home. From sizzling fajitas and street-style tacos to delectable desserts, El Nopal brings the true taste of Mexico to your table. And now, we can bring the fiesta to you. Book the El Nopal food truck for birthdays, weddings, or any special event. And let us serve up tradition on wheels. El Nopal, authentic Mexican food made with love.
All right, CF Randy back here. Let's get our screen set up so we can see Mr. Van Meter and I. We both have faces made for radio, but
yes,
we're live streaming tonight. United Country Nelson Real Estate halftime. or in between matches, depending on what we're doing here. And so we see South Harrison come out, get the win over Hamilton. And there were some good matches mixed throughout the night there. And you mentioned that Nixdorf coffee. We knew it would be a good one, and it was a really good match, and Cray ends up getting the pin.
He does. And again, you knew Nixdorf had watched film from when the match began. A lot of the things that Cray goes to, Nixdorf was able to block, kind of knew it was coming, so they watched film on him, and they had set him up for that over-under throw. You could see it in the first period. Cray saw it, and it just happened to catch just enough where he tried it, but Cray was able to block it off. But, I mean, that's why Cray is so special, man. Not only is he big and strong, but his reach is long, he's tall. I mean, he's the type of, that's why he was so tough in football too, man. I know in the years I played football, I'd like to think I was a hitter, but I wouldn't want to hit a 215-pounder like that. He's just so athletic on top of the fact that he's strong that even when you think you have a good move set up on him, he's able just to wrestle his way out of it.
Well, maybe talking for a minute, Jeremy, we've got people watching that maybe aren't as versed in wrestling as you are. You talk about watching film. I think when you're talking football, basketball, we're looking at plays, we're looking at offense, defense. How does that film study work in a wrestling match?
So a lot of kids will do a similar setup for a move. Like all right, if I pull their head this way, this ankle comes forward, I do that ankle pick. If I pull this arm here, they do this, I do this move. So you can kind of feel something coming before it happens. You can block it before it happens. So watching film, you get very familiar with that, and you can see Nixdorf blocking off the blast doubles, the sweeps, and is able to do a lot of, stop a lot of things that Cray does. But you could also see somebody in Nixdorf's compact, powerful package. He's got a lot of hip strength. That throw is his, like you'll see here against Maysville. I bet he throws the poor kid from Maysville. And that's just what he does. That's what Nixdorf is taught. That's what Fitzgerald's older brother did. Makes him good offensive linemen because they got that small package, powerful hips. And he's going to do well this year as the season progresses. So, sorry, I got sidetracked there. So Nixdorf, he just come back from a broken leg. I think he's only had like 7 or 8 matches so far, but he looked way more in shape here than he did Saturday. You can see how mat time really can gain some conditioning and confidence for a good wrestler like that. So this next duel coming up between Maysville and Hamilton, there's some decent matches here. The 190-pounder that we saw go against Seabass, he's taken on, it looks like they bumped up everybody, Maysville did. We'll see if that actually holds. See, there's games that coaches play. We talk about that. Like when a kid weighs in, he can wrestle 2 different weight classes in a duel. So if he weighs in at 175, that means he can wrestle 75 or 190. So they've got Graham Kennedy right now on the paperwork as 190, but he wrestled 175 Saturday because Ethan Smith wrestled him twice. So we'll see, but that means Cooper Ray, which is ranked number 2 in the state, bumped up to 175. We'll see if that holds. So the coaches do that to kind of play the field and see, where's this going to put me in districts if we wrestle this kid, not that kid. And, Coach Zug from Maysville has been their coach a long time, and he came over here and was looking at the list before, and I said, now, Coach Zug, you don't need to be playing games now, do you? And he's like, I like playing games. He does. That's why we don't do pre-match introductions anymore, because they never stick. And we have to see who they send out to see who wrestles who.
And the one thing before we get to this, you mentioned districts, kids like Nixdorf and Coffee in districts. So when you get that kind of talent in a district, how many kids will come out of districts per weight class?
4 per weight class go to state, and there's 4 districts in the state, so 16 kids are at state. So, I've known a lot of great wrestlers that made it to the bubble match, we call it, which means the top 6. And if you lose your bubble burst, you win, you punch your ticket to state. A lot of great wrestlers can get to there, but that hump, that's where you go from a good wrestler to a great wrestler.
All right, we'll get ready for Hamilton, Maysville. Step away, be back for more after this here at South Harrison.
Show your school spirit with a BTC Bank Mascot Debit Card. For each swipe of your Mascot Debit Card, BTC Bank donates 7.5 cents to the school represented on your card. It's a simple step you can take to have a big impact on your community at no cost to you. Stop by a branch today to get your Mascot Debit Card and start making a difference immediately. Visit btcbank.bank to learn more. Member FDIC.
Bethany Building Center is your locally owned source for quality building supplies, lumber, hardware, plumbing, and electrical needs. Whether you're starting new construction, tackling a remodel, or putting up a pole barn or shed, our team is here to help. We're proud to carry a full line of steel power equipment, including trimmers, chainsaws, and pressure washers, as well as trusted power tools from top brands like Milwaukee and DeWalt. Bethany Building Center, everything for the builder and the do-it-yourselfer.
All right, we'll get ready here for the girls between Maysville and Hamilton. Looks like we're going to have some open ones here as well.
Well, Zug playing games. He's got girls wrestlers, but he's only sending the 155-pounder out. He's, they're just not even going to come over if they get a forfeit. They're not going to waste anybody's time. So Penny's going to go ahead and get their arm raised and get the points. See, Zug plays games. I like Eric Zug. He's a fun guy to talk to, but as a coach, sometimes he's just a question mark. You really don't know where he's going. So Penny's going to get their opens because they want to get their wins. They want that record. Coach Zug from Maysville saying, we're going to send our 55-pounder to wrestle their 55-pounder, and that's all we're going to do. Zug's been the coach at Maysville for quite a while. Nick Stort's been the coach at Penny for a while. Known these guys for quite a while. They've known each other. Hamilton, Penny, and Maysville's not too far apart either. We see each other at a lot of different tournaments. There's a lot of duels like this. We see each other, so these kids are not, and these coaches are not unfamiliar with each other.
Well, in the old days, we were all in the same conference together.
Yes. When the GRC added Marceline and Brookfield, it changed GRC wrestling. Those two schools are legit wrestling schools, and our GRC tournament we counted, I think there was like 37 ranked kids at that conference tournament. So that makes that conference tournament something totally different. All right, so our first match of the girls' duel here, we've got the 155-pounder from Maysville is Claire Barton, which is ranked number 2 in the state, taking on Cadence Railsback from Penny. So you got the number 2 ranked girl in the state at 155 for Maysville, and then Railsback from Penny looking to try and work something against the state-ranked opponent. So Barton gets a takedown 3-0. Already has the chicken wing. Railsback fights that away. No, she lost it there. Barton had a state medalist older brother, so she's been around wrestling quite a while. He graduated a couple years ago, I think, and now she's looking to try and replicate a family tradition. So you heard the coach yell, get long there, because she's trying to post away from that half Nelson, and Barton immediately tried to turn it into a far side cradle. Railsback was able to block that away. So 3-0 Barton with 50 seconds left in the first. Got a deep waist wrist control here. Going to probably turn it into a cross-face cradle. Already has, there it goes. She's got the head posted now. She's working the leg up. Railsback's going to keep it away. She's going to stay long and not let her hook it up. So she'll have to let the leg go. Still 3-0 Barton. 20 seconds left in the first. Down to 10 seconds left, trying to work any kind of a pinning combination here, Barton is. All right, so the end of the first, Barton is leading 3-0. They chose neutral back to their feet at the beginning of the second period. Railsback says, you were going to do that. Oh, I'm going to go for the double leg, and Barton gets the roll through and another takedown, 6-0 Barton. Railsback's going to try and fight off any kind of an arm bar, but Barton elbow chops down and gets the chicken wing, is now going to try and roll. Probably needs to put a half in here, but she missed. Isn't getting back points yet. There, she's starting to get back points. There, she slides a half in and misses. So now she's looking to go for the front headlock, and there's the pin. Barton with the pin. So the one girls match that Maysville chooses to wrestle, they get the win, and we'll be ready to switch into the boys duel here shortly. Oh, looks like we got a JV match beforehand. Got a couple 190-pound JV kids. So Maysville's JV 190-pounder is Cameron Kiesman, and Penny's JV 190-pounder is Hunter Crabtree. There's like a couple freshmen 190-pounders. So if you're 190 as a freshman, now imagine as you go through high school, you're looking at one's probably going to replace Nixdorf when he graduates, the other one's probably going to replace Kennedy when he graduates, or possibly look to be heavyweights by the time they're seniors. You never know. At 190 pounds as a freshman, you really never know where it's going to go. So looks like Crabtree's looking for some sort of a Russian tie to pull through, and Kiesman's just looking to straight tie up and try and get some sort of high crotch. They're both just working hand fight, trying to get any kind of a opening to run their move. They're both aggressive kids, but I know who they're behind JV-wise too, so I kind of understand why they're, as freshmen, just trying to get some matches in. This will be a good JV match for both of them.
Well, that's the thing you don't think about. These guys that are behind Craig Coffey's, Ruger Johnson, right? And you're just looking to get on the mat at some point.
Well, Ruger Johnson's a perfect example. The kid just beat the last year's state champion in the final Saturday and got his 100th win. Well, a lot of kids are getting their 100th win their sophomore year. Well, he was behind state medalist Jared Evans for his freshman and sophomore year, so he didn't get to wrestle varsity until his junior year. So, yeah, Ruger Johnson's one of the better wrestlers we've had in school history, but he didn't get to be varsity until his junior year. So that's kind of where these two are at. You get behind those good wrestlers, and you just try and get better every day and get ready for your chance. The difference is, instead of trying to replace a senior lineman or center in basketball, you know the kid's name that's in your weight class. He gets to beat up on you every day of practice. So we're 0-0 winding down. We're looking at Kiesman looking to try and get a takedown at the end of the first, and he gets the takedown. So Kiesman's up 3-0, and the first period will end. So both good, strong, aggressive kids. We'll probably see them on the football field in future dates, at least Maysville anyway. And if we look back at film, we probably saw them this year.
I'm sure we did.
So Kiesman gets to his feet, and Crabtree mat returns, keeps wrist control as he gets to the mat. Kiesman just trying to work back to his base, to work back up to his feet, and Crabtree is trying to maintain control. Kiesman trying to do an E-slide away, and Crabtree will break him back down. So, minute 20 left in the second period, still 3-0 Kiesman. This is a point as a coach where you tell a kid on bottom, don't drown on bottom. Don't get down there and drown. You got to get up and move. You got to move. And Kiesman's still trying to move. It looks like he's going to get the escape. So 4-0 Kiesman. So 4-0 Kiesman, and Crabtree's going to look to try and get some sort of a takedown to get this match close again. Kiesman gets a good high crotch, gets a single leg, and gets him turned for the takedown. Toe was in bounds when he got the takedown. So you're looking 7-0 Kiesman. So you're working that inside control, getting the hand fight, trying to get that inside control so that you can dip and get a good high crotch and get the hips brought to the mat and get the takedown. And Kiesman set that up nicely. Up 7-0 as the second period's got 25 seconds left.
At this point, does fatigue start to set in a little bit here?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're getting, especially, these are two strong kids and they're going full tilt. And as second period winds down here, it's a tight, I mean, it's not a blowout match. And he runs out of time with no back points there. But yeah, they've both been wrestling hard and aggressive. So we're going to the third period and they're blowing a little bit. You know, they're starting to gas. But they're actually both still doing really well. Sometimes at this point you'll see kids where their skin will start getting blotchy. You know, it tells you they're out of shape. These kids look in good shape. Looks like Crabtree's going to go with the optional start we talked about earlier, and then he goes for the dive right in and puts him down to his hips. So see, there's two different strategies there. You either let him up or you kind of do a surprise attack there off the optional start. Kiesman's down on the bottom again and he got out of it at the end of the first period, but now he needs to, late in the match, tired, and Crabtree's just hip pressure, and that's when the wear starts to work. And he starts to give up an arm, and then now Crabtree's got to work that arm back, and it just, yes, fatigue does you start giving stuff up you wouldn't normally give up because you're tired. And you can tell, you know, JV kids are going to be good later, so these matches are good for them. To find that, you know, you got to find that wall and push past it. It's just like every sport. Find that wall and push past it. Wrestling, unfortunately, the wall will slap you right in the head. I told you don't drown on the bottom. He just got called for stalling for not moving, so he immediately comes to his feet, comes to life, and Crabtree hasn't given anything up yet. But now we're back on the mat, and Kiesman's got one stalling warning on him, so there's 49 seconds left to win one stalling warning, but he's still up 7-0. So again, he can get another stall warning, but he just can't get carried away and just lay there and do nothing. He's got to be moving to try and improve his movement. And Crabtree's got to try and get some sort of pinning combination. So you kind of tell a kid you want to, you know, stay safe but don't get a stalling. Stay safe, don't get a stalling. And he got to his feet. So there's 8-0. And there you're starting to see Crabtree starting to get a little gassed. Slow to get up, slow to move. He's put all his energy in trying to get a turn there, and now he's leaning. See how far he's leaning because he's tired. So now if Kiesman's not tired, he can take that momentum and use it against him. Yeah, see, he did.
Yeah.
You just start to get tired and your hips start not working as well as they should. And Kiesman took advantage, got the takedown, so now it's 11-0 with the takedown. And we're going to end the third period there. I've said it before, a 3-period wrestling match is equal to 2 football games in my opinion. When you walk off the mat, that's what it feels like.
Well, I remember last time we watched South Harrison, Tate Aikens went 3,
and it went overtime.
Yeah, there at the very end, and ended up with the win, and that you could tell exerting so much energy there.
Well, and there's things you do to try and get yourself in shape. You know, you talk about, you know, getting good lungs and all that, but in this sport, you have so much muscle movement, muscle mass that's trying to make things happen. You're just trying to keep. Sorry, the crowd's waving at me. I was getting distracted there. I blame Dick Smith. He's been coming to wrestling matches since 1979, so here he is. But anyway, your muscle mass, there's so much movement that it starts to take away oxygen from your blood. So it's not as much as you're out of shape. It's just you're starting to. So both teams are open at 106 for the boys. We're going to go straight to all the way to 120, it looks like. You got Eli Griffith from Maysville at 120 taking on Cass Bretz from Penny. So you saw Cass Bretz wrestle Cruz, but this Griffith kid's a pretty solid wrestler also. So 120, a pretty solid night. So this could be a good outing for Cruz Stewart if he can get 2 wins, because this Griffith kid from Maysville is solid. He's only a freshman, but again, I've watched him wrestle since he was little in youth, and he's a pretty aggressive kid also. And we've seen the Bretz kid. I mean, he's got a motor that's almost.
Oh, yeah, he sprints right back out to the circle.
I mean, you saw him also get an unsportsmanlike because of that aggressiveness, but you know, you kind of like passion if it can be in control. He's still just a freshman. There's a takedown for Griffith there late as they go out of bounds. So Bretz will be down and Griffith will be leading 3-0 with 1:33 left in the first period. I always tell kids when they play, I love the passion as long as you can keep it under control. Both of them underclassmen here. Griffith at 120 is a solid wrestler as a freshman, so we'll see what happens in districts for him. It'll be a good outing if he makes the state as a freshman for anybody, you know.
You find sometimes kids at these lower weight classes are younger just because of those weights?
Yeah, just because as the maturity, size, and strength starts to fill in, it's hard to stay down. That's why if you ever see a 106-pound senior, they're probably going to be a bully because they've got some maturity strength at 106 that other kids just don't have yet. They're going to be pretty solid if you're a 106-pound senior. And really, 120, this kid's a freshman. Okay. Well, I don't know what happened.
He headbutted back, I think.
Okay, well, that's twice today. Again, I love the passion. You got to keep it in check. So he was trying to grind an arm bar, and it looked to me like maybe you're right. He may pout his head back. Oh, well, see, there's the pastor part of Coach Nixdorf. He said that's twice today. He's done. Match is over. Gives the win to Griffith. You know, Nixdorf is very, very passionate himself, but he knows you got to keep it in check.
Well, and again, that just goes to, and you've been there coaching youth and everything.
Got to teach.
Hey, I'm not just trying to teach you how to do a sport.
I'm trying to teach
you how to be a good young man.
Yes. So up to 126, Wyatt Wolf from Maysville will get the win for the Open, and then we'll go to 132. Working on 132. We have Leland Moss from Maysville taking on James Harvey from Penny. So we saw Harvey wrestle Hoover earlier, and Leland Moss from Maysville was seeing if he has anything for Harvey. Moss is just a freshman from Maysville, and Harvey is a sophomore. Harvey looks to me maybe a little more aggressive here right off the bat. Gets the takedown 3-0. Going in the tilt, trying to get a little cheap back points, and Moss is trying to fight it off to not give up any points. Harvey's looking to maybe get a pin out of it. Nah, he can't quite get any back points out of it. We got 3 back points here. My bad. So it's 6-0 Harvey. Lets him up, so now it's 6-1. And you know, if I'm back to that last match, if I'm Cass Bretz's dad, I'm 100% behind Coach Nixdorf there.
Yeah.
Again, I love the passion, but you got to keep it in check. So it's a learning moment. What are we doing here? Harvey's getting a little crazy.
What was that step over?
I don't know what he was doing. That's not an orthodox move. It's 9-1, getting back points here.
Just wrapped him up there.
Well, but he's got the inside shoulder. He can't get on the mat. See, his body's in the way.
Yeah.
You always tell a kid get the knee in the side to get separation and try and get the back flat, and he's not gonna be able to get it. So now you're looking at 13-1. Now he's going to do it. Ooh, he was going to do a chin drop, but Moss was looking to maybe do a little headhunt there. Going to miss. So now he's got the arm bar. Going to look to try and get something tight to get into his back and get a pin and get it over with. Lost the arm bar. Now he's got a butcher. But Moss is going to go to his back. Oh, and that's pretty tight. Not tight enough to make him squeal, but he's maybe going to work out of it. Oh, Moss works out of it, but that's going to be 4 more back points. That's tech fall. That's tech fall for Harvey. So that's going to make your team score now 9-12, I believe. 9-12 is the team score. So we're trying to work out the team score there just to make sure we have it correct. So Harvey gets the win there. We'll bump up to 138. Looks like they're both open. So when these teams from other towns come to a hosting town, they log into their computer for our person to keep track. Well, if they've already entered opens and entered wrestlers and we don't know how to move them, we have to stop and kind of get straightened out. So 144, Bryson Justice from Maysville is going to take on Hayden Gonzalez from Penny at 144. So it looks like it is 12-5 Maysville. 12-5 Maysville right now as a team score. And we've got this Justice kid is a pretty solid wrestler. I think he had an injury out of football that he's back late from. But in years past, him and his brothers have been known to be very solid wrestlers with some state medals. We'll see how he does tonight against Gonzalez. Gets a good ankle pick, but Gonzalez blocks it off. And they're back to looking for a hand fight. So still 0-0, 20 seconds in. Looking for wrist control. Going to chew a little bit of a Russian, maybe a Russian slide by. Gonzalez is trying to keep separation, and then he sets up a good ankle pick there. Shows one move and sets up to another. Got a single leg, going to lift it, going to shelf it, they call it, put it up on a shelf and try and Gonzalez is just trying to hop off the mat, just trying to get out of trouble. And Justice is like, no, you're going to stay in bounds. I want this takedown. And, that's a nice little move by Gonzalez. It caused him to get off balance. And now we're back to our feet 0-0. So he knew what was happening, so he thought if he could get Justice off balance there. So we're back, still 0-0 with a minute left in the first. Oh, Justice with a beautiful ankle pick. You saw, set it up. I talked earlier about how if I pull him this way, his ankle comes forward. I watched him set it up and just boop, right. I guess the takedown 3-0. Justice. And Gonzalez is looking to try and get back to his feet. Justice is trying to pick up some sort of Gonzalez gets away, but Justice is trying to get him back to the mat without clasping. And he's got complete hip control there, so he's going to be all right trying to stay in bounds. And they're going to go out of bounds, still 3-0 with 27 left in the first. 27 seconds left in the first, 3-0 Justice. Gonzalez tries to keep the wrist control away, but Justice gets the wrist control and almost gets some back points, but no. Drake said it was just side to side, so he does give no back points there. So they got to expose the back to the mat for a certain amount of time for him to start counting. And it just wasn't exposed long enough to be able to get any back points. So still 3-0 Justice with short time here in the first. So we're going to end the first period 3-0 Bryson Justice. But Hayden Gonzalez giving him a decent match. He gets choice. He goes neutral. So that's an interesting choice after Bryson sets up Justice sets up the nice ankle pick. Maybe Gonzalez feels like he had something almost set up and ready to go. Whoa, that was not planned by anybody, I'm sure. So that's going to be a 7-point move for Gonzalez. Justice just trying to fight off his back. So he fought off his back. It's going to be a 7-point move for Gonzalez. Now 7-3 and Justice to his feet. So now it's going to be 7-4. And then he bear hugs him straight to his back. So big swings. So that's a 3-point takedown for Justice. Now back points. And he might even get a pin out of this bear hug because he's got the arm. Now if he can just, Gonzalez is going to fight off his back there. Nope, he got right into the half. Oh boy, things are happening quickly at 144 here in this duel. Still on his back, and the pin. So Justice gets put on his back on accident and decides, I'm done with this, and immediately turns the match around and gets the pin. So 18-5 is the team score of Maysville winning, and we're going to move into 150. Zach Griffith out of Maysville taking on Cooper Matthews of Penny. So we saw Matthews at 150 against Mode, and this Griffith kid is a solid wrestler too as a senior, so this could be a decent match. I don't remember if they wrestled Saturday or not at the Albany tournament, but they could have. But Griffith is a solid wrestler, and Matthews, we saw against Mode, is solid, so this could be a good match. Getting a little aggressive, doing a little forehead banging, and testing each other's limits here right off to see who's going to be more aggressive. You know, Matthews, we saw against Mode, likes to do the the over-the-top chop, and now he just got a stalling call because he keeps backing up. So, man, just scrambling on the side of the mat there. Everybody's looking just to be doing the over-the-top chop, but we have one stall warning against Matthews, which is the opposite against Mode. Remember, he was the aggressor, and now he just gets a stall warning. So Griffith, slow to get back to the center. I think he was trying to compose himself because they got a little aggressive there by the mat, doing some slapping around. I think he was trying to compose himself to make sure and not get out of his get his poise back a little bit, Matthews likes to do a little extra, and he goes for the double leg blast double, and Griffith tries the cow catcher, but Matthews gets under it, so Matthews with a takedown 3-0. Griffith, he's got a leg in, and Griffith hips him down and is going to swim through and get the half in. Oh my goodness, big swing there, a reversal, and now back points for Griffith. And he's on his back. That's tight. And that's a pin for Griffith. So that quick, you got a pin for Griffith. So now 24-5, Maysville over Penny. And we're going to move up to 157, Ryan Hogan from Maysville and Carson Bretz from Hamilton. So I watched the Hogan kid wrestle this weekend in Albany, and I've seen the Bretz kid wrestle for quite a while. Both of them solid wrestlers. Not that the Hogan kid's I seen him Saturday. I had to ask who he was. I watched the match. I was like, wow, this kid, where did he come from? He's a solid wrestler. I don't remember him. That's a good high cross move. Put Bretz down for a takedown 3-0. Ryan Hogan. Got a little tongue tied there. He's got wrist control. Yes, that happens, Josie. I get tongue tied. It happens. He's got good wrist control. Got 2-on-1 there, and he loses it, and then he goes right back to the other one. So this Hogan kid, I don't remember him. He could have been a solid wrestler before. I just didn't remember him. But when you have other good wrestlers around you in practice, it can elevate a kid that's athletic from a good wrestler to great when you have good wrestling partners, and I think that's what's happening here. Bretz is fighting any kind of a pinning combination off, though. Have to be able to kind of feel through that a little bit, so it's 3-0 with 55 seconds left in the first. And they're wrestling at the edge of the mat here. Still got contact in, so Hogan's trying to work him back in. He's got 2-on-1. And he's going to lose him out of bounds here. So with 39 seconds left in the first, it's 3-0 Hogan.
Yeah, we've got our camera just sitting down. They were almost right in front of our camera from that low angle.
The viewers at home can almost smell the match happening. So Brett immediately gets his outside leg up. Hogan tries to put him back and gets him back down the mat in a pretty good position. Now he's working some wrist control. Trying to roll those wrists back to get one of them to get some sort of a arm bar or chicken wing here, and he's got a power half already. No, then he switches back. Brett's looking for the roll. He's blocked off, and it puts his inside arm where Hogan can maybe possibly get back points. There it is. There's back points. Oh, and he's got the outside arm down. This could turn into a pin here. So Hogan's got the head now. He's got the outside arm extended. He's got the leg trap. There's a pin right before the buzzer. So Hogan with the pin is going to make the team score 30-5 Maysville.
Yeah, just a couple seconds before.
Yeah, you just heard it before the buzzer. So we're going to move to 165, Colton Lemunion, which is ranked 4th in the state from Maysville, and open for Hamilton. So Colton Lemunion is going to get dodged at 165, makes the team score 42-5 Maysville. And we're going to go 175. We got Cooper Ray from Maysville taking on Damone Newman from Hamilton at 175. So this is what we talked about earlier. They bumped everybody up. So Ethan Smith is going to see the number 2 ranked kid of Cooper Ray. So Cooper Ray is ranked number 2 at 165, but he bumped up to 175 here. And we're going to see what he does against Newman, and he'll probably end up wrestling Ethan Smith. Good match for both of them. So Newman tried a cow catcher, and Ray stopped it and said, no, I want to take down. So 3-0 Cooper Ray. At the edge of the mat, he's going to try and work an arm bar. So Cooper Ray ranked number 2 in the state at 165, bounced up to 175. So that's a 10-pound difference, which can level a lot of the playing field really fast. Poundage makes a big deal in wrestling. Newman fighting off any kind of an arm bar here, still with 1:10 left in the first period. Ray says, okay, I'll just let you up 3-1. Ray, he's going to look for another takedown, and Newman's like, I'd like to get me one. He's trying to set something up. So yeah, Cooper Ray here at 175, that's going to set up a good match in the next duel against South Harrison. Gets a good outside single. He's going to try and shelf that up and keep him in bounds. He gets a takedown. So 6-1 Ray. Now he's working the arm bar. Newman does a really good job of working the edge of the mat. We talked about that against Smith. You know, he gets to the edge of the mat, so that way if he gets in trouble, he can maybe try and get out of bounds.
And this one, you're coming right into your living room here on our screen.
Yeah. Oh, youth wrestling night. You could tell they knew the camera was on, so he had to run through. Cooper Ray with half Nelson, getting back points here. And the pin. So Cooper Ray with the grapevine ends with 12 seconds left in the first, gets the pin, going to make the team score 48-5, Maysville. We're going to jump up to 190. Graham Kennedy taking on Braden Drawhop.
Yeah, because there's an opening there.
So Braden Drawhop from Penny taking on Graham Kennedy. Kennedy is ranked number 8 in the state at 175, bounces up to 190. These guys looking to get matches late in the season. We talked about earlier to get good muscle conditioning for districts. You want to be able to go in with all the juice you can have, because that's when it really matters. That's when the second season starts in wrestling, as we call it.
When you mentioned if you move up and drop one, it's not going to hurt you as far as.
No, I mean, you don't want to lose a match, but at the same time, if you jump up a weight class and get a good matchup, it's just going to prepare you for districts. And you're probably wrestling somebody that's not going to hurt your seeding because they're in a different weight class than you. You see good wrestlers in practice. You know, when I wrestled, Brian Bennett wrestled 140, but he would wrestle the heavyweight practice because he wanted to make sure he was getting all the workout he could get. So this is very similar. This is live match, live action against a heavier opponent. So Kennedy gets a good slide by, but hasn't quite got the takedown yet. Still has a single leg, and oh my, falls into a headlock. Oh my goodness, he's onto his back. That's going to be a 7-point move. Tries to roll through. Oh man, so if Penny gets the head lifted and gets a, see, this is the problem. You go up a weight class thinking you can get a win. This loss, well, I mean, a loss is never good no matter what weight class. The kid from Penny is a solid wrestler, so it's not like it's a bad loss by no means, but you hate to get a loss, and he could get a pin here. His 30 seconds, he's got to fight off his back. So Drake holding the 4 back points counts. Oh, Drake, I don't know. I can't see.
He's keeping that shoulder
Keeping
off.
that back. There's the pin. It just touched with 11 seconds left. So yeah, he bounces everybody up. But his kid that was kind of on the fence of, you know, being ranked or not, gets a loss. So a pin for Penny there, that's a big win, because that's going to benefit him that he beat a ranked opponent. It's going to beat, and so we go up to 215, and Nixdorf comes out for Penny, and Maysville does not send a 215-pounder out. So Nixdorf will get the win, going to make the 42-23, and then we go back to 106, and Penny has Kretz at 106. Kobe Kretz with the open, going from a 215-pounder to a 106-pounder on the mat. It's kind of a drastic change, but final team score is going to be 42-27, 29. Oh, 42-23 is the final match score. Maysville wins, so Maysville bumps everybody up to get good matches. Benefited everybody but Kennedy. Kennedy gets, you know, that's, we talked about it last time, the old hip toss headlock is a majestic move when done correctly, but you saw Kennedy try and roll through and still got that block. So yeah, that's one of those moves that my middle son Caston, one of his few losses his senior year was a kid did that to him, and we still call him the headlock champion for it. He'll be mad for me saying that, but it's fine. So good duel there, good matches there. We're going to go between matches here again. We'll get ready for South Harrison versus Maysville.
Love is in the air. This is Rhonda at Little Clara's Garden, and we have just what you need for Valentine's Day. Flowers, balloons, candy bouquets, stuffed animals, and more. Whether it's roses or wildflowers, we have what her heart desires. Call 425-3000, come see us, 1508 Main Street, or shop online at littleclarasgarden.com. Happy Valentine's Day!
Harrison County Community Hospital, your trusted hometown healthcare provider. We're here for you with a 24-hour emergency department, inpatient and outpatient care, and a full range of health services. Our primary care clinics in Bethany, Eagleville, and Pattonsburg are here to meet your everyday health needs. And we're growing with you. Soon we'll open our brand new state-of-the-art hospital. At Harrison County Community Hospital, you'll find compassionate, dependable care. Nowhere are you more important than right here. Looking for a fresh style? Come to Hairspray Salon, your full-service destination for beauty. From cuts, coloring, and perms to flawless formal styles and makeup, our stylists do it all. Treat yourself with gel, dip, or acrylic nails, plus relaxing pedicures and professional waxing services. Need a thoughtful gift? Ask about our gift certificates. Hairspray Salon is open Monday through Friday, with Saturdays available by appointment. Feel confident, look beautiful at Hairspray Salon.
Have friends or family coming to Bethany? Give them a home away from home at Hidden Acres Cabin Rentals. In the rolling hills of Bethany, our cozy cabins start at $140 a night and include everything guests need to relax: private space, modern amenities, and a peaceful country setting. Book a cabin today at hiddenacrescabinrentals.com or call 660-373-9927. Hidden Acres Cabins. Comfort for your guests, just minutes from you.
Real quick, we'll come back here. CF Rainey joined by Jeremy Van Meter as we've got South Harrison Wrestling. A triangular meet tonight. South Harrison got the victory over Penny in the first time. And now we'll see as Maysville over Penny, South Harrison getting ready for Maysville. And we'll come back here and we'll be joined by Jeremy Van Meter. And we're in between here, Jeremy. And we'll get our mugs on the face here. United Country Nelson Real Estate halftime in between. And so we saw South Harrison Penny, we've seen Maysville Penny. Now we get ready for South Harrison Maysville. GRC, two schools, right? Wrestling, they're both a couple schools that are known for wrestling there.
Yeah, Maysville's known for wrestling. I mean, Maysville's known for wrestling, have been for years, and they've got a solid team this year. This is going to be a good duel. They match up really well with us. They've got some ranked kids where we got some ranked kids. We got some solid wrestlers. We have solid wrestlers. This will be a good duel. Now, like we talked about, Maysville bumped everybody up. So everybody, they bumped everybody up one weight class, and that could match them up better with us or worse. We'll see. It puts Kennedy against James, but it puts Cooper Ray versus Smith and Lamunion against Aikens. We'll see where that all lands. So there'll be some good matches in this one. I think the big match to watch is to see what they do with Graham Kennedy. Do they and Cooper Ray? Do they put everybody back where they was, or maybe they allowed him to get a little fat this week? You know, like, hey, we'll bump you up weight class. Let's get you some muscle back and get you some energy back. And so then the big match would be Ethan Smith versus Cooper Ray. You know, third in the state and second in the state in their normal weight classes. So it'll be a decent little matchup there. It looks like girls-wise, we get Serena Lurton. I think Maysville has a 100-pounder. That could be a good one. Addie Polly will probably have a match too. We'll see. I think that might be the only girls' matches for this duel. So there's going to be some interesting matches here. And it's Maysville. Listen, we talked about Albany last time when I was in school. Albany was our rival, but really, as times went on and Albany went to 8-man and now in a different conference, now really Maysville and Gallatin is our close rivals. Maysville's always good at wrestling. Gallatin has all the Sperry's in wrestling, so you can avoid them. You're okay. I mean, they got other good wrestlers too, but you know if you draw a Sperry at Gallatin, you're in trouble. But Maysville, what I've noticed with Maysville over the years is like we noticed about the Hogan kid. I don't recognize his name. I don't necessarily. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I forgot and I shouldn't. But he kind of showed up, and all of a sudden, he's wrestling well and could potentially do some damage in districts. And that's the sign of a good program when you can grab a kid that you've never heard of before, and all of a sudden he's in the mix for seeding in districts. South Harrison looks like they're trying to get finished, warmed up, and get ready to start the girls' match here. Do we need to go to break, or are we ready to?
No, we'll just
go
stay
right
here. We've paid all the bills that we need to, and we'll go ahead and switch over to our Matt Cam.
Yeah, they don't need to see us anymore, man. Because the Facer radio is not that far of a stretch.
You can see Randy here on Bulldog Sports TV, joined by Jeremy Van Meter. And appreciate Jeremy being with us. He is our wrestling expert. You see the girl captains meeting there on the mat with the official.
Sorry about that. I had to do my other job as PA announcer. We got the girls duel getting ready to start here. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in on you there.
No, you're good. I need to switch our scoreboard back here.
So they're going to start at 110 and circle back around to the matches. So Maysville has a 110-pounder that's ranked in the state.
We're pointing around.
So we had a little confusion. They were missing a kid. We had a parent come to the head table missing a kid. Well, he's over with the high school team hanging out.
25? 25? You're back there now. You need 125? Nope. Come on, kid, I'll raise your hand.
So we had a little bit of confusion there. We're ready for
we'll get it
Hayden
going.
Humphrey. Sorry about that. Hayden Humphrey's going to go out and get her hand raised at 125. Maysville has nobody. And then Amber Crowley at 130 will be similar. Amber probably won't skip out as spry as Hayden Humphrey. She's nursing the hip flexor. She's got a hitch in
her giddy up.
I noticed last night cheer during the basketball game, she wasn't doing the extra stuff. So
You've got to get geared up. Coach Coffey helping her get her headgear on there.
Amber Crowley going to get the open.
And you mentioned some of these girls, both her and Hayden and Serena. All three of those girls are cheerleaders. That's a lot of practice time in the morning and after school.
Right, I
with
talked
wrestling.
to Coach Schoening, the cheerleaders last night, and she talked about how they got competition coming. They got all this stuff coming, and you got Nora McCall on crutches after breaking her ankle. You got Amber Crowley with a little bit of a hip flexor. You got cheerleading is a year-long sport. So as you know, as your daughter, how long they've been practicing since like June.
Yeah, and honestly, they don't ever take a break. They get a little break during track season just because you don't cheer during track or baseball, but it picks right up in the summer.
So all these opens with the girls. We move up to 190. Emily Burnett will get her open here. Emily Burnett at 190 gets her open. Then we're going to bounce back to 100 where there is a match. So Serena Lurton, she beat Serena Lurton at the Mid-Buck tournament, beat the state champion last year in the finals. Big match for her. It's kind of the tipping point for Serena. Serena's been a good wrestler for many years, but she just didn't know it. Well, she gets that win, now all of a sudden she knows it. She's wrestling really well. And she's going to take on Maddie Hansen from Maysville. Both are freshmen. Maddie Hansen from Maysville and Serena Lurton from South Harrison. So Serena Lurton, like I said, I've coached her in youth for quite a few years. She's a good wrestler. She just needed to find that confidence in herself, and she got that big win earlier this season at the Mid-Buck Girls Tournament, and now she's been wrestling really well. Coach Van Meter said she's really kind of changed in practice too. She went from, just working moves to now she's working on aggression, working on meanness, which you got to that's what you got to teach the girls. You got to teach the meanness side. So she's going to get a takedown here early with 1:30 left in the first period, just kind of a bulldog type takedown. It wasn't even really that technical, just kind of mean at 100 pounds. You ask how mean can you beat 100 pounds? Well, watch, they get mean. Now she breaks the leg down here to go to a power half. She's got two legs in, going to go right to the power half. And this, again, this is a different Serena that I coached in youth. She was very technical, very cautious. Now, Coach Van Meter's got her just being about half mean. And that's going to be the difference between a good wrestler to a great wrestler. And there, she's just starting to get a little mean here, and I like it.
She's just got to get a little leverage there on that other shoulder.
And she had a good butcher, but she rolled through. Now she's going to be up 7-0, and she's going to go right back to an arm bar of some sort. She can probably maybe even do a cross-face cradle here. But she's got, she's really trying to crank on that. She's not deep enough on that butcher this time, but she could turn that into there. She knew. She felt it. Go right to the cradle. Now she's got the head. Got more back points now. She lost the arm there. Rolled through. That's 2 back points. So now you're looking 9-0 Lurton, and now she's just going to crank a power half. Like, let's just get gnarly and crank the power half over. I'm going to be the meanest 100-pound in the town. Like, I'm just going to bully you over, crank that arm out. She needs to keep the head, though. She's going to do that. There's 4 more back points, so now we're up to 13-0. She's going to run the power half the other way. So get that arm and keep the head. She's going to run out of time in the first period. Got up 13-0 in the first period and just kind of bullied her way through that. This is a Serena Lurton I love to see. Oh, it was 15-0. I missed.
All right,
I lost track of the points. So
I
tech fall
points too there.
Tech fall there for Serena Lurton. I dig seeing the aggressive Serena Lurton. I like it. So
she got after her. She's just a good kid. I've got her in class. Good kid.
Yeah, it was hard. You had to like force her to be mean. I like to see it. So Isabel, my God, taking on Addie Pauley at 105 pounds. Addie Pauley, first-year wrestler, got her first win the other day. It looked good. She's getting a little more confident with her wrestling now if she gets a win. And my God from Maysville at 105. So Addie Pauley, for just being a small 105-pounder, tends to wrestle like a heavyweight. I have a feeling that most of the moves she's learned is from her the heavyweight wrestler Ruger Johnson that she likes to hang out with. So she tends to look for inside leverage and arm bars and slide bys and stuff like a heavyweight wrestler would. And it looks to me like my God has never wrestled anybody like that before, so she didn't really know what to do next. Like, she's like, you're not supposed to be doing this. You're not a heavyweight. So working a hand fighting here, trying to get some inside leverage. Oh, look, there she got the over the top. Now she needs to go to a cross face and get separation and get her takedown here. Get hip separation with that cross face. She needs to cross face like she means it and get that leg back. Lift the ankle and lose, and she lost her leverage there, so now she's going to give up a takedown to My God. And now My God's trying to get a cradle hooked up, and Polly's trying to fight it off. She's going to get rolled to her back in a cradle. And that's going to be a pin for My God. So Polly looked good for a little bit and then lost her leverage. My God was able to get her right to a cradle. First-year wrestler, that's what happens. She starts to get some confidence and misses on something. But first-year wrestler, we'll see if she does anything next year. That'll end the girls' duel 23-6, South Harrison. So a lot of opens there in the girls' duel, but a couple decent matches there. It was a good match for Serena Lurton.
Yeah.
I really like to see the aggressive, because she's a good technical wrestler. I just, I have boys, so I know how to get boys to be aggressive. I didn't know how to make a girl get aggressive, but the one boy of mine that I could never get to be aggressive enough found a way to get Serena Lurton aggressive, and she looked good.
Well, let's maybe talk about that a little bit. This South Harrison coaching staff.
Well, Casey McFall and Austin Ward were great wrestlers back about 10 years ago, state medalists, state champions. And then you got a couple other, you got Nick Williams and Jaron Van Meer that were South Harrison wrestlers, and then Clint Bennett that's been around South Harrison wrestling since he was in diapers. So you got 5 South Harrison wrestlers that have been around for a while, some that's had great success, some that grinded out through the sport and knows how to coach it well, and for a couple of young kids, Nick Williams and Jaron Van Meer, they know how to coach girls somehow, and they're doing good there, where Casey and Austin and Clinton can really focus on the boys and look for a big movement there. So we're going to get started on the boys duel here. So Crew Stewart at 120 will come out and get an open. Maysville didn't send out Griffith at 120, so now we're going to move up to 126. And Wyatt Wolf at 126 for Maysville will take on Tallis Marshall at 126. So you're going to see, we talked about Maysville bumping their guys up. So Tallis Marshall and Crew Stewart's going to go down a weight class for districts. So here Tallis Marshall's wrestling 126, but his plan is to wrestle 120 at districts. And Crew Stewart's planning on wrestling 113. They've been there once this year, and they're wrestling here now and plan on going down for districts. Good under double leg for Marshall there, but Wolf blocks it off and doesn't give up any points. So Wolf looks like to me he's going to try and tie up and get some sort of throw. Marshall probably would be to his best interest to stay out of the tie. So we're 0-0 with 1:35 left in the first. Marshall needs to stay out of the tie probably, and Wolf's going to try and work some sort of tie and throw. So what needs to happen here, Marshall knows as Wolf's reaching for that tie, he's going to go under and get the leg. And if he can keep it and get a takedown here, that's going to be very beneficial. But he gives up a leg, and now Wolf is going to get the takedown. So 3-0 Wolf. Looked like Marshall had the advantage there, but Wolf worked his way through. So, and we talk about, Marshall's planning on going to 120. You can kind of see the weight difference between these two. So I think Marshall weighed in today at like 122 or 3. Wolf probably weighed in right out at 126. There's some weight difference here, and you're going to see Marshall go down for district. So now he's looking, let's get a good match here and try and work something, get ready for districts. Wolf looking to try and, Taos Marshall is a medalist from last year, 6th place medal at 106. So this is a good win for Wolf if he can get it. Marshall trying to wrestle heavy as he can. So,
and he's got that wrist, Wolf does, and just won't let go of it.
Well, and can't get any back points because Marshall stays away from it. Looking to get a tilt, the tilt back points there, and Marshall, good defense to stay off his back long enough to not give up any points. So 3-0 Wolf here. And Wolf's really just hanging on right now. It looks to me like he's going to try and ride the first period out and just keep Marshall from doing anything. Marshall's going to just maybe ride it out also with 8 seconds left here. So we're going to end the first period 3-0 Wolf.
And that's one of those, Jeremy, Wolf kind of dominated most of it, but if you're Taos Marshall, you're only down 3-0 at this point.
Yeah. So Wolf gets first choice, declines. Taos gets choice and chooses. No, maybe Wolf chose down because Taos would not have chose up. I don't think. Maybe he did. I missed it. Oh, Taos deferred over to Wolf and Wolf chose down. Okay, I missed it. Missed who had first. So Wolf chooses down, like we talked about. It's easier score from there. Marshall's going to look to try and break him down and get a pinning combination. So sometimes when you choose down, you can't drown down there, like we talked about earlier. And Marshall's very, very well known for his wrist control and his leverage, but Wolf's trying to get a switch here, and he gets it. So a reversal, 5-0 Wolf. And now Taos is in trouble a little bit here because he's got the ankle here. You can see by the camera finally lets go of it. But Wolf has got that leg pinned up there around to get a cradle, and that's going to put Marshall in a bad place fast. So Marshall's going to go to his back, and he's going to maybe roll through with it. No, that's blocked off. No back points there. See, Marshall did a really good job. He's got a pinning combination, but he's fighting to stay off his back, not give up any points. And he can't block that one off. That's pretty tight, and that's pretty flat. Oh, boy. And that is a pin for Wolf. So 6-6 team points here with Wolf with the win. So we're going to move up to 132. And Hoover for South Harrison and Leela Moss for Maysville. Hoover looking to try and get back ranked at 132. Moss we saw take on Harvey earlier. And Hoover's going to look to try and set something up here, get as quick a win as possible, I think.
Well, and Moss, the freshman, you can definitely tell the difference in body type here.
Yeah, Moss
just
is definitely
the development that Hoover has.
Hoover with a good clean double leg. Now he's looking to get a cross face and turn it into a butcher and get him onto his back and end this match pretty quick. And yes, you're right. As a freshman, when you haven't fully went through puberty yet, this is a tough sport. So Hoover with a quick pin, going to make the team score 12-6. And then we're going to move up to 138. Jansen Van Meter will have an open at 138 at Maysville. So Jansen Van Meter will go out and get the open win here.
Are you going to call your son winning a match here?
Well, I mean, it's an open, but we'll take the win. We'll take the win where you can get him.
I see Mom clapping big across the way.
Yeah. Win's a win. 144. So we move up to 144. Bryson Justice to take on, it's an open. So South Harrison open. I know Camden Eckerson and Gentry Allen's been sick.
Yeah,
so we have nobody at 44.
I think both those guys are gone today.
Yeah, so we're up to 150. So Ian Mode will take on Zach Griffith at 150. Had a little bit of flu floating around South Harrison and the boys' sports for sure. We're missing a couple basketball players last night. So we're at 150, Griffith versus Mode. So Griffith, you'll see kind of go in spurts of aggression, but then will compose himself. Mode looks to try and get some sort of wrist control to stop anything and maybe work something himself. Griffith with the takedown, so 3-0 Griffith, and has full hip control right now with that leg bar, looking to try and roll a wrist over and get nice. Gonna let him up. So 3-1 Griffith. Tries to go for it and sweeps that leg through and gets a takedown. So 6-1 Griffith right now. Trying to get a cradle hooked up. Looks like he's got it. Gonna put Mode to his back. Mode's gonna try and fight off the back. He's giving up back points, but not a pin. So it's gonna be 10-1 Mode, back to the same cradle. He let go of it long enough to start getting more new back points, but he lost it there. So we're looking 14-1 Griffith. So I was just informed that Zach Griffith's mom is a South Harrison alumni.
I know his mother. She was Clemma Sperry, now Clemma Griffith, and I remember her in high school back in the day.
See, now I feel like I'm big time. I'm getting notes slidden by the production team to help me with my facts. Production team, I'm meaning BG Coffee. So after another back point here, it's going to be 18-1. It's going to be a tech fall for Griffith. So that's going to make the team score 18-17 South Harrison. And we've got Ryan Hogan take on Mason Galloway at 157. Feeling big time getting notes slid like that.
There you go. See if we get any other information. Make us sound smarter over here.
Yeah. So Mason Galloway, his dad was a South Harrison wrestler back in the 90s, Philip. And Ryan Hogan from Maysville, 157. So this is one of those matches I'm sure McFall is kind of like me. They don't really have a lot of data on Hogan because he's kind of new to the scene. So Mason's just going to use his athleticism and strength to try and set something up. You kind of go into a match blind, and sometimes it's not a terrible thing. Just go in there and wrestle your match and not worry about what the other guy's good at or bad at. Mason with a good double leg, straight to a blast double and a takedown for Galloway. Hogan gets a little bit of a set out and tries to get a switch, but Galloway's still in control. He needs to keep his hips up and keeps the switch from happening. There you go, good, back in control. Now he's just trying to muscle in a power half, but Hogan's back to his base. He lets go of the half, so now Galloway needs to get another breakdown. Winning 3-0 here in the first with a minute left. A little short sit out for Hogan, but loses the wrist control, but Galloway can't contain it. Looking to try and get some sort of an arm bar work here. Galloway's really close to getting a clasping call, but gets away from it, so now Hogan gets an escape. So 3-1 Galloway. So now the Maysville coaching staff recognizes, okay, Hogan can get away if he needs to. So that could come into play in between periods. If they choose down, they know he can get an escape. What would help Galloway here is if he sets up another good takedown before the end of the first period and can be up 6-1 versus 3-1. But Hogan's looking to try and want to be up. So he gets the single leg in. Now Galloway needs to get a good cross face and get hip away. Shoelaces down and hip away. Keep that leverage, hip leverage. Cross face like an animal here, but he's going to give up a takedown here to Hogan. So Hogan does exactly what I thought Galloway needed to do, and now he's up 4-3 as the first period will wind down. So 4-3 Hogan over Galloway. Reg's choice first. And like we said, they know he can get an escape, so he gets choice, they put him down. So now Galloway needs to work some sort of a pinning combination and get some pack points here and not give up one, not two, like we talked about earlier. If he's going to get something up, give up an escape, not a reversal. Yeah. But he needs to break down and get wrist control like he did early and maintain it here. That Hogan's got some good good hips and keeps his hips up and keeps him out of danger. We talk about, there's certain things in sports that you can't coach. Hips is one of them in wrestling. You can't probably coach a great jump shot in basketball or whatever. I'm not a basketball guy, sorry. But hips in wrestling, if you got bad hips, you really got to work to keep yourself out of trouble. If you got good hips, you always keep yourself in good position. So Galloway's keeping him on the mat this time, but he really needs to figure out a way to get some sort of back points here and work some sort of pinning combination and not just be on the defense to keep him on the mat. And he's doing a good job of keeping him on the mat, and he keeps doing a short set, but now he's back in control. Now he's there. He's got a good cross face. Looks like he was going to try and cross face cradle, but there he's really working that cross neck. But he's trying to wear Hogan out. The more Hogan works to try and get to his feet, the more tired he gets, and that's when Galloway's strength will come into play. So see how he starts to lose a little bit of balance because he's getting tired. Got 42 seconds left in the second. Now he's got a leg, so Galloway needs to get a good crossface like we talked about last period. Good cross there, he gets back control. So you're starting to see Hogan wear a little bit. That's when a kid like Galloway is so strong and athletic, you can keep moving, but his strength just wears you down. So Galloway's still losing 4-3, but it really feels like when it comes to muscle control, he's winning the match right now. So you go out of match, we'll see how quickly they get back to the center. Galloway, neither one of them hops up. Galloway's up first. But you can see where Hogan's got hands on his hips, tired. Galloway's strength is really starting to wear. 16 seconds left in the second. Galloway's going to cover, and probably at this point, he's just probably going to try and keep up from giving any points in this period, unless Hogan just gives him something. He's going to look to just keep him on the mat, wear him down some more, really grind on him. 9 seconds left. He's just going to grind on him to make it to where Hogan's nice and tired for the third period. Because here what I think is going to happen is going to be Galloway's choice. He's probably going to choose down. So Galloway's probably going to choose down. Yep, immediately the coach is telling him down, so because he's got more motor right now. He's looking to get an escape. It's 4-3, tie it up, and he could probably get a takedown because Hogan is looking a little more gas than he is. Now, I've seen wrestlers deke a little bit and act tired when they really aren't, but I don't think that's the case here. So Galloway gets the escape. So now it's 4-4, minute 50 left in the third. So now Galloway needs to set up his shot and not give up anything to Hogan. But Hogan, look at his face. He's feeling the strength of Galloway. He's feeling all that right now. He's trying to do anything he can. And Galloway right now just needs to use his athleticism and muscle to continue to wear down Hogan until he can get a takedown.
A minute and a half to go here in the third.
Yeah, so it's going to start winding down. We may see an overtime match, but I really feel like Galloway's setting him up. Like he probably feels like he's in control right now by sheer strength because he can feel how tired he is. He's setting something up to try and get a good shot and get a takedown late in the period to where I even see him take a glimpse at the clock. Yeah, see, there it is. He knew he had a minute left. There's the takedown. Now, if you get him to his back, it puts you in a better place. There's a half Nelson needs to put in. The team is yelling half for a reason. So now it's 7-4 Galloway.
Yeah, 50 seconds now here in the
He's got good hip pressure, so now he just needs to keep Hogan on the mat, get a pinning combination he can, use that athleticism and strength against Hogan again, stay off his back. There's the half. Put a half Nelson in. Oh, he couldn't quite get it there. But still 7-4 Galloway, and you can see Hogan really feeling the effects of Galloway's strength right now. With 25 seconds left in the third, Galloway's winning 7-4. That is the face of desperation by a wrestler right now on the bottom. Again, Hogan, good wrestler, but he's just feeling the effects. He's got a leg here. Got a leg. You've got 11 seconds left. Galloway, he's still in control. Yeah, there he was out of gas. So Galloway, with his strength and athleticism, just wears down Hogan and is going to get the win 7-4 as time expires. So good match for Galloway. It shows, the Hogan's a good wrestler. We talked about it earlier, and Galloway is going to get the win. So team score is going to be 18-17, looks like. 21-17 South Harrison, and we're moving up to 165. Colt LeMunyon, fourth in the state, taking on Tate Akins at 165. LeMunyon is normally a 157-pounder and moved up to 165 tonight. Tate Akins he's above 500 wrestler, but he's not ranked. And LeMunyon solid, gets a good little single leg there, and Tate fights it off. There's no takedown yet. He's going to try and shelf that single leg And got himself in a predicament. No points right now. He's going to get a front headlock. Tate better controlled the chin here. He's going to get rolled through on. He does a nice little barrel roll there. Man, Lemunyan, nice little barrel roll to get the takedown, 3-0. So a ranked opponent, Lemunyan, bounces up a weight class. Tate Akins, if he gives him a good match, that's a good confidence builder for Akins for districts. Lemunyan looking to try and get a good match here, and Tate's got enough fire in him as a redhead that he's going to give him one. He's got an arm bar back, and he's looking to try and figure out, you got that arm, but he's on his knees, so it's hard to run anything, and he's going to have to give it up. But now he's looking to try and, right to his back. He kind of set him up for that, unfortunately. Tate's going to fight off his back, though. See, got some fire to him. And now he's got Lemunyan in a bit of a predicament. But Lemunyan's still in control, winning 7-0. And he's got the near side cradle hooked up. Going to try and drive him to his back. Oh, boy, that's a tight cradle where it's tough to block. I don't know if he can get he's got the back points, so now he's just trying to
just
post
15
his head.
seconds here.
Yeah, I got short time here. If Akins can fight it off before time ends. Ooh, that's tight. That's the I can't breathe tight stuff. Only 3 seconds left. And he
1.9 seconds.
Left. So still, he fought it off really well. And Lemunyan will get the win. So the team score is 21-23 Maysville. And we're moving up to 175. Cooper Ray out of Maysville, ranked second in the state at 165, bounced up to 175 to wrestle Ethan Smith, ranked third in the state at 175. So this will probably be your good match for this duel, your feature match, I guess we'll call it. Cooper Ray out of Maysville and Ethan Smith of South Harrison. The team score right now is 23-21, so this match could be the difference in the duel. Well, then again, we still have Coffey and Johnson left, and they don't, so I feel like we're in pretty decent shape team score-wise, but I'd like to see Ethan Smith. This would be a huge win for him because you beat a ranked opponent, either one of them. This will be a big move for either one of them because both of them are ranked opponents. So this will be a good win for either one. They're both being very strategic right now, not giving up any crazy openings, trying to look for any kind of inside tie, any kind of wrist control.
He's kind of filling each other out a little bit.
Yeah, they are. And Ethan Smith is another. He's like Mason Galloway. He's just so strong. But Cooper Ray is also really strong too and very technical. So this is kind of a, rock and a hard place type match. You got two strong, good wrestlers. They're just trying to. It's kind of like when Nick Storff and Coffey wrestled. They're just trying to see what they can maybe set up, and we might see some action late in the first period, or it may take just something later. It may be a close match the whole way. These are the type of matches that sometimes you just don't see anything until third period when things have to start happening. So still 0-0 with 28 seconds left in the first. Neither one of them feels like they have anything they can run yet, but they also could be just playing around seeing what they can set up for later, A very strategic match. Sometimes you got to stay patient through these. Don't get out of sorts and try something that you shouldn't against a very talented wrestler. Either you got to stay patient and wait for something to set up. So I'm going to end the first period 0-0. So similar to the Coffey Nixdorf, you saw the whole first period of them just testing each other out, trying to see what they can give. So Ray is going to defer, and we're going to put Smith down. So Smith starts on bottom to start the second period, so he's going to look to try and get to his feet, while Ray is going to see what he can try and work as a pinning combination. So go straight to the single leg as Ethan thought he was going to get away from him, and Ray goes straight to the single leg thinking he can get some sort of hip leverage, but Smith is enough taller than him that he can't get it high enough.
Yeah.
He just can't get it high enough. It's falling red because it's not mat returning him. So now you have Cooper Ray that he finally found how to get tall enough, but it was out of bounds. So he'll go back to that. So Smith will try and keep his leg leverage. So Ray gets a stalling call there. Stall warning. That could come into play later in a close match. So now you see how he's going right back to that single leg. So he's like, okay, we've done this for a while again. We'll do it again. But Smith is just enough taller than him. He can't get. So he got.
Can't get enough leverage to get that leg up.
So Smith now knows he's got to get to his feet without letting him get that leg. But also now, Ray's looking to try and get some sort of arm bar with an elbow chop or something. And Smith keeps moving, Ray keeps trying to work stuff, and it's really a whole lot of, just like on their feet, they're trying to see what's available, what's open. And really right now, there's not a whole lot of anything for either guy to do anything. Oh, so Smith gets the hips down, but can't quite pull it off. So Ray immediately tries to go some sort of cradle, but they're on the edge of the mat here. So now they're both out. So 37 seconds left in the second period, and neither one of them can get anything that happened. They're both blocking everything. That's a sign of two good wrestlers, kind of like the Super Bowl we watched. Two good defenses, and a whole lot happening. So now that's exactly what happens again when the whistle blows with 30 seconds left. Is trying to work this, block that, work this, block that, and Smith to his feet, go right back to that single leg, going to try and tree top it, but the tree is tall. It's tough to tree top something when the tree is tall. And Smith just can't get that leg back. He's got a whizzer in, which could help him at the edge of the mat. So Ray's still in control, even though Smith is starting to get some leverage, get to his feet, and he could get an escape here. Oh no, didn't quite get the escape because he had the head.
Yeah.
So Smith knows he can, and now he knows it's there. He can try and do that again. And Ray will just try and keep on the mat for 9 seconds. Now we got a caution. Ray was too far on the belly button, or he didn't have the elbow correctly. So a caution on Ray with 9 seconds left in the second, still 0-0. So Ray's trying to keep from getting up and escape and saves it. So at the end of the second, we're still 0-0, and Ray knows immediately he's going down. Doesn't even look at the coaches. He knows he's got to go down. He's got to be able to find a way to get Smith. His covers, whistle, they are both, again, immediately, what can I do? What can I do? What is he going to let me do? What's he going to block? Ray tries to go for the switch. Smith has fallen, gets to his feet. So 1-0 Ray. So now Smith has to get a takedown. We've worked on our feet. We've worked hand control. We've worked inside. What takedown did he give me that I can do? Ray right now is going to be defensive, but I could see this kid being aggressive too. He's a good enough wrestler. Sometimes we talked earlier, the best defense is a good takedown. But Smith is not just your average wrestler. He tries for a high crotch, misses. Ray has a front headlock. Smith, now he gives it to him. So now Smith needs to pull that leg in while Ray blocks it off. This could be match defying with 1:10 left on the edge of the mat. And he needs to get his hips up. Oh no! Ray gets the takedown. God. So 4-0 Ray, and he's got a deep arm bar. With 1 minute left, Smith needs to get something. He needs to get that arm back and get something happening quick.
Yeah, that arm pin behind him makes it tough.
It looks like Green maybe got it back. Okay, we got 30 seconds left, and Green's going to have to make something happen. Something big's going to have to happen. A reversal, a back point, something. He's got 30 seconds left, 28. And he's giving up the armbar. Now he's got it slip through. 20 seconds left, down by 4. Now Ray right now is just trying to hold on, trying to not give anything up. You can tell he's not working a pinning combination. He's just holding on. And Green right now can't get anything to happen. There's the roll. Oh, almost there. Oh, but Ray blocked it off. I think that was Green's move to try and do something late. So we're going to end the third with a 4-0 win for Ray. So not a terrible match for Green, for Ethan Smith. So we move up to 190. Caspian Jinx is taking on Cameron Kiesman. We watched Kiesman wrestle a JV match against Benny, and now he's going to take on Caspian Jinx.
So you mentioned with Smith, the late move there by Maysville, it was 1-0.
Yes.
I mean, it was 0-0. Then
I said
1-0.
This could be match defining there at the edge, and that was really the difference. So not a terrible match for Green there, losing 4-0 against a number 2 kid in the state. So not going to kill him when it comes ranking time, because he's going to go back down to 165. He won't see him at districts. So we're going to 190, Caspian Jinx, and Maysville sends out their JV 190 instead of, we talked about Cameron and Kennedy bounced up and lost. So he's going to stay, and Kiesman's going to wrestle 190 against Jinx. So we're at 190 here. The team score right now is 26-21, Maysville. So Seabass gets a win here. This could be good for South Harrison. This could be big.
Yeah, and he's right back to the circle. He's ready to go.
Yeah, I think Seabass went from, who I got to wrestle to, hey, I'll watch this kid wrestle JV. I think I got something here. And he gets the single leg again. He's going to drive through. Seabass is one of those kids. He's still young to the sport. We saw him in football. He's an aggressive kid. So we saw Kiesman do something very similar in the JV match. This could be a good match for Seabass and a good win if he can get it here. So 0-0 with 1:30. There, he's getting a good single leg. He's just got to finish it. And Kiesman's going to spin. No points. So Seabass keeps moving where there's no points. 0-0. So Jinx is getting a good single leg in there and just not quite able to finish it because Kiesman's spinning too quick. So if he continues to set that up with 1:10 left in the first, Kiesman reaches for a takedown. Seabass is going to try and he gets his hip down, but he needs to get his hips back up and away. He's going to have to give it up. So Kiesman with the takedown, 3-0. I feel like Seabass is going to be able to get to his feet. I feel there's a good switch and a reversal. So 3-2. 3-2. So Jinx is in control here, but losing by 1. Clock. So the official clock is on track wrestling, so everybody sees what's on the wall, but the official clock is on track wrestling. Seabass with an unorthodox mat return, but it worked. That could be dangerous. Hope he doesn't do good. Has a half in. Now he needs to crank it over. Just continue to crank it over. Continue to crank it over. Well, and he loses it. Well, he's got it back in there. Okay, so when you have that Health Nelson in there and he's on his knees, he needs to grab an ankle and get him drove back down and get that leverage, because when he's on his knees, he can get to his feet while you have the half in. So Seabass had the opposite wrist, which works when you're broke down, but the kid's on his knees, you need to ankle it and get some good control there. All right, so 1 for Kiesman, going to be 4-2 Kiesman here. So Seabass with 20 seconds left in the first needs to look to get a takedown here. .42 with 15:10 left in the first. I don't like seeing that at the end of a period there where the buzzer hasn't went off and he kind of already gave up. He gave up some cheap points there. So Seabass has choice seat at first and Red chooses down. So this is where Seabass needs to work that half like he had, break him down, not let him up. And really, he had a good half and just needs to work on hip control. But he lets Kiesman to his feet right off the bat, and we're immediately in a scramble. So now it's 5-2 Kiesman, and now Seabass has to get a takedown here to get this match back close. He's got the leg. Now he just needs to finish through. Don't stop. Yeah. So Kiesman gets the takedown. It's going to be 8-2.
He's got him over on his back.
Oh no, and a pin for Kiesman. Just things happen there and got rolled through. I didn't. So Seabass has had some foot issues. He may have lost leverage because of that. So Kiesman will get the win. Going to make the team score 32-21. Maysville will not send out a 215-pounder against Coffee, so Coffee will get the win at 215. Going to make the team score 32-27. And then Maysville doesn't have a heavyweight. So Ruger Johnson will get the win. Going to make it 32-33, South Harrison. And then that'll be the end. So South Harrison
1 point.
Gets the win by 1 point. So Maysville gambled by sending out their JV kid to try and get close, knowing they had the 2 late opens, and doesn't quite. They fall 1 point short. South Harrison gets the win. So a couple good matches there. I know Green fell short to Ray, or Ethan Smith did, but a good state level match and a good 4-0. If there is such thing as a good loss, a 4-0 loss to a number 2.
We'll come back here on screen just for a moment. And so very close, and we saw a few really good matches this evening amongst all 3 of the teams with Maysville, Hamilton, and South Harrison. That Nixdorf coffee match was a great one early, and then you mentioned Smith.
Smith and Cooper Ray, I knew that was going to be a good one. And it really, everybody talk about how the Super Bowl is boring, but if you're a defensive guy, it was amazing. Well, that's really what you saw with Green and Ray. 2 very high-level wrestlers that wasn't going to let any crazy things happen, and it really came down to a match-defining takedown at the edge of the match, and that was the difference. Green's still a very good wrestler. Cooper Ray ranked 2 in the state, so very great wrestler. That really was the difference in the match, but if there is such thing as a good loss, that was it. Now they're setting up for youth.
Yeah, we're getting ready to sign off, everyone. Big thanks again to Jeremy Van Meter. He's helped me out both these wrestling matches. I have very little wrestling knowledge, and I appreciate Jeremy. He's always a lot of fun to be on with as well. Real quick before I sign off here from the Green Hills Insurance post-match, I want to thank all of our sponsors: Harrison County Community Hospital, O'Neill's Home Furnishing Floor Coverings, Little Claire's Garden, Green Hills Insurance, Hidden Acres Cabins, Petty John Auto Center, Farmers Bank of Northern Missouri, as well as Advanced Tire, Bethany Building Center, United Country Nelson Real Estate, El Nepal Authentic Mexican Food, BTC Bank, GRM Networks, Shelter Insurance, St. Jones, the Bethany Hairspray Salon, and the Bethany Fuel Depot. So big thanks to all them. We'll come back real quick here on our Green Hills. Thanks again, Jeremy. Thanks for everyone that tuned in to watch South Harrison Wrestling.
It's great to see all the sponsors you have. Those are all great local businesses that are really supporting what we're doing here. We got to thank UCF for coming to the home wrestling matches and letting everybody see what the wrestling program has to offer locally for the Bulldogs. But I also know you've done home football games, home basketball games. It's a big thing for South Harrison to have this great outlet for media, and you're doing a great job. We appreciate everything you do for us also.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks again, everyone. We'll be back next time.